Chapter 1818. Young hero, say something. Young hero, aren't your ears working? Why is there no sound at all? Young hero, are you still there? Fuck, you bastard who gave birth to a son without an anus. You dare trick me? Do you know who I am? My name is enough to scare you to death. Hurry up and return the art of creation to me. Otherwise, when I get out, I will kill you even if I have to chase you to the ends of the earth. The cave was filled with the old man's angry roars, but Fin could no longer hear them. He had already left the cave with the art of creation. Fin originally came to Bailing Spirit Mountain to search for the white spirit divine bird. He would never have thought that he would inexplicably obtain a few level 7 spiritual herbs, a bottle of elixirs of an unknown level, and many strange materials. What made him most excited was that he actually obtained the second part of the creation of heaven and earth skill. Just the creation part alone was worth more than all the treasures to Fin. Along the way out of the cave, Fin sat at the entrance of the cave and took out the art of creation to study. This skill was the continuation of the creation part. Ever since he started cultivating the creation part, Fin's comprehension ability had skyrocketed. Now, it could no longer be described as terrifying. Not long ago, when he was withstanding the lightning tribulation, he could instantly comprehend the third form of the heavenly thunder technique, myriad lightning greeting. After cultivating the creation part, his spiritual root would be cleansed, and his comprehension ability would reach a new height. He could then create a new skill that belonged to him. Fin had already started cultivating the creation part. When he completed a minor reversal, he felt that his originally empty dantian was gradually filling up. Moreover, he had just broken through to the 6 changes of Buddha aura not long ago. This kind of heaven-defying cultivation shocked Fin. Fin even had a premonition that if he continued to cultivate like this on White Spirit Mountain, he would be able to usher in the opportunity to break through to the 7 changes of Buddha aura in less than half a month. However, he dispelled this idea in the end. Firstly, the consecutive lightning tribulations not long ago had left him with some lingering fear. Secondly, this place was really not safe. If a few more powerful cultivators like Frost Ginseng appeared, he was afraid that he would most likely die. After putting away the cultivation method, Fin began to study the strange materials. However, after looking at them for a long time, he still couldn't figure out what they were. He then took out the colorful flag. This was the first time he had seen this thing. According to Little Pig, it should be an attack-type true weapon. However, after fiddling with it for a long time, Fin still couldn't find a way to activate it. Putting away his messy thoughts, Fin took out the 100 pasture grass and the fragrant fragrance flower. He had finally gathered all the medicinal ingredients needed to concoct the fragrant fragrance pill, and he planned to try it out on Bailing Spirit Mountain. The fragrant fragrance pill was a type of rank 1 rank 7 king pill. For a rank 4 rank 7 pill king like Fin, concocting it wasn't difficult at all. Although it was his first time concocting it, it was a piece of cake for him. Moreover, he managed to produce a full batch of 12 fragrant fragrance pills in one go. Among them, there were even 3 supreme grade pills. Fin immediately swallowed the 3 supreme grade fragrant fragrance pills. Although the main effect of the fragrant fragrance pill was to repair the sea of consciousness, if a cultivator's sea of consciousness was not damaged, it would also have the effect of expanding and nourishing the sea of consciousness. The 3 fragrant fragrance pills melted in his mouth. A rich pill fragrance and spiritual chi rippled in Feng's body. This spiritual chi eventually gathered in his mind, but it wasn't as violent as the spiritual chi of other pills. The medicinal effect of the fragrant fragrance pill was as gentle as water. Fin felt as if a beautiful woman was massaging his head. After an hour, he discovered that his divine sense could already scan a wider range. The medicinal effect of this pill is too strong. If it were to appear in the northern sand continent, I'm afraid it would be even more shocking than the Spirit Surge pill. After personally tasting the fragrant fragrance pill, Fin found it hard to calm down. After reaching the true spirit stage, cultivators competed more on the strength of their divine sense. Although he was currently in the Buddha's Aura 6 Changes realm, his divine sense had already reached the height of an ordinary true spirit stage, middle stage cultivator. Roar, roar. Just as Qin Feng was immersed in the joy of successfully concocting the fragrant fragrance pill, a few angry roars came from afar. Those sounds should have come from a very far place, but it sounded as if they were right next to Qin Feng's ears. There were two kinds of roars, both of which were the angry roars of the beast race. Qin Feng could tell that the two beasts were from the high-level beast race. He didn't want to get involved, but he instinctively scanned the area with his divine sense. Then, he immediately stepped on his flying sword and rushed over. Roar, roar. The closer he got to the battle, the more shocking the roars became. Qin Feng could feel the air shaking as he flew in the air. Finally, he stopped behind a snowy hill a few hundred meters away from the battlefield. As soon as his feet touched the ground, he felt as if there was an earthquake. In front of him were two gigantic beasts fighting. One was standing on the snowy ground. Its body was 5 to 6 meters tall, and its entire body was covered in green fur. It looked like a snow beast, and the other was completely snow white, a gigantic bird. Qin Feng had come precisely because of this spirit bird, and he suspected that this was the white spirit divine bird that he had been painstakingly searching for. Master, that snow-white spiritual bird is indeed the white spirit divine bird. As for that green-furred beast, it should be the green-skinned snow devil. Little Pig suddenly spoke with a trembling voice. Master, you really hit the jackpot. Right now, this white spirit divine bird has evolved to its peak. It has become a level 8 spiritual beast, and its combat strength is comparable to an empty god. Qin Feng rolled his eyes. Level 8 spiritual beast? The unicorn sea beast he encountered in the fallen god, Sea, was only a level 7 spiritual beast. Not long ago, he encountered the giant winged fire demon in the legendary Heavenly Fireland. It was also a level 7 spiritual beast. However, this wasn't the most important thing. The white spirit divine bird was at a disadvantage and seemed to be unable to defeat its opponent. It could be seen that the green-skinned snow devil was at least a level 8 spiritual beast. For a moment, Qin Feng felt hopeless about obtaining the white spirit divine bird's inner core. Also, plucking a feather from its body was a fantasy. This was a level 8 spiritual bird. Plucking a feather from its body was scarier than plucking a tiger's fur. Master, don't be discouraged. If you encounter the white spirit divine bird alone, you can only run for your life. However, if you encounter the white spirit divine bird and the green-skinned snow devil fighting, Master will have some hope, Little Pig said. Qin Feng suddenly calmed down. He also realized that this was a great opportunity. He just needed to sit back and reap the benefits of the battle between the two level 8 spiritual beasts. With this plan in mind, Qin Feng completely concealed his aura. After all, these were two level 8 spiritual beasts. If he wasn't careful, he could expose his existence. The battle had reached its final stage. The white spirit divine bird was severely injured. Its snow-white feathers were stained with blood. From time to time, it would open its beak to howl and spit out blood. The green-skinned snow devil wasn't much better off. Its green fur was also stained with blood. The two colors mixed together looked a bit frightening. Seeing that the time was ripe, Qin Feng immediately took out the 100-mile light sniper. He replaced the energy starstone with an energy slot that stored thunder source energy. A few days ago, when he collected the thunder calamity energy, he couldn't wait to test out the power of the new 100-mile light sniper. Now, he finally had the chance to show it off. Whoosh! Without hesitation, he fired the shot. Suddenly, the weather changed dramatically. A huge black cloud condensed in the sky. The sound of thunder seemed to tear a hole in the sky. Several waist-thick bolts of lightning exploded in the battlefield. Rumble. The aftermath of the explosion was ferocious. That part of the world was blasted into ruins, and dust swirled up, obstructing one's vision. Qin Feng heard a miserable howl coming from the mouth of the green-skinned snow demon, and the white spirit divine bird had already soared into the sky, escaping the violent might of the spear. Roar, roar. With one shot, Qin Feng's target was exposed. The green-skinned snow devil rushed in his direction and roared a few times. Its lantern-like eyes were bloodshot. Just a few roars had shaken the small snow hill in front of Qin Feng to the ground. Like an avalanche, Qin Feng was instantly buried in the snow. He felt the ground shake violently. He guessed that the green-skinned snow devil was rushing over. This spiritual beast was too fast. When Qin Feng drilled his body out of the snow, he saw a scene of dark clouds covering the sun. It was the green-skinned snow devil's huge body falling from the sky. Rumble. A loud sound exploded next to Qin Feng's ear. It almost cracked his eardrums. Luckily, he stepped on his flying sword and left in time. However, he was still hit by the aftershock and swayed in the air. A huge hole appeared in the snow where he was. Snowflakes flew everywhere. It was a beautiful and terrifying scene. Roar, roar. After its attack missed, the green-skinned snow devil clawed in the air again. 5 claw marks appeared in the air. The air was torn apart, and there was a piercing sound of wind breaking. Qin Feng had already flown hundreds of meters away. However, in the blink of an eye, he felt an immense force in his chest. It almost crushed his body. Qin Feng fell heavily to the ground, creating a hole in the snow. He opened his mouth and spat out a large pool of blood, dyeing the snow-white ground red. The green-skinned snow demon's simple swipe had almost taken his life. Moreover, he knew that this spirit beast was already heavily injured, so its explosive power was greatly reduced. Qin Feng didn't even dare to imagine how terrifying the green-skinned snow demon swipe would be if it were at its peak. At the same time, Qin Feng realized how much he had grown. This was the first time he had fought after breaking through to the 6 changes of Buddhist light. Whether it was his speed or his body's defense, they had greatly increased. Or rather, if Qin Feng was still in the 3 changes of Buddhist light a few days ago, he would have been killed by the green-skinned snow devil's claw. Roar, roar. Seeing that Qin Feng could still breathe, the green-skinned snow devil was very unhappy. It beat its chest and let out a few wild roars. The sound waves contained a powerful aura, and a few small snow hills nearby collapsed, forming a strange scene of an avalanche. Qin Feng wasn't in the mood to appreciate the scenery in the distance. He wasn't here for a vacation. Before he could adjust the aura in his body, a huge black shadow appeared above his head again. Before the black shadow landed, a violent aura pressed down on him, making it hard for him to breathe. His body seemed to be bound, and he didn't even have the chance to escape. Roar. Chapter 1819. The white spirit divine bird was flying at full speed when it slammed into the snow demon. When the 2 beasts came into contact, it brought with it an earth-shattering force. The snow demon was sent flying hundreds of meters away. When it landed, it created a huge crater. The white spirit divine bird landed not far from it. It was obvious that it was heavily injured from the collision. It lay motionless in the snow, and no one knew if it was dead or alive. Qin Feng was also sent flying by the shockwave, but compared to the 2 spirit beasts, the damage he suffered was pitifully low. He immediately swallowed a few healing pills, stepped on his flying sword, and flew into the air. Looking at the white spirit divine bird lying lifelessly in a snow pit, Qin Feng's emotions became complicated. Just now, this white spirit divine bird had saved his life. Otherwise, who knew if he would have been stomped to death by the green-skinned snow demon? Roar, roar. That green-skinned snow demon skin was tough. After lying in the snow for a short while, it actually stood up unsteadily. It had been angered by the white spirit divine bird's attack, so it ignored Qin Feng's existence and walked towards the white spirit divine bird. Clearly, it wanted to kill it first. Rumble. However, before it could reach the snow pit, a sea of lightning exploded in the sky. Qin Feng finally found a chance to breathe. Without hesitation, he fired 3 shots. The 9 changes true lightning carried with it a destructive force. It exploded around the snow demon. When Qin Feng saw the lightning attack the enemy, he felt an indescribable sense of joy. That snow demon was already exhausted. Even under such a ferocious sea of lightning, he was still able to hold on for half an incense stick of time. However, he eventually collapsed. The moment his body touched the snowy ground, Qin felt an earthquake. Rumble. Large snowflakes flew up and scattered in the wind. The snow demon lay quietly in the snow pit. Its body was still emitting white smoke. This time, it didn't get up. It looked like it was completely dead. Qin didn't have the mood to check on the snow demon. He didn't shoot it again. After all, the lightning energy in the energy tank was limited. Every time he shot, Qin's heart bled. He leapt into the snow pit where the white spirit divine bird was. As soon as he landed, Qin relaxed. Although the spirit divine bird was severely injured, it still had a weak breath, which proved that it was still alive. Actually, if the white spirit divine bird died, it would be a good thing for Qin. He only needed to take the white spirit divine bird's inner core and pluck a few feathers from its body before he could leave this place. However, when this spirit divine bird saved his life just now, Qin had developed feelings for it. At the end of the day, Qin was a beast king and had tamed many spiritual beasts. He had feelings for the beast clan. Of course, he did not include the beast clan that wanted to kill him, like the green-skinned snow devil. Ayo, ayo. The white spirit divine bird seemed to have sensed Qin's arrival, and it let out a low cry. It seemed to want to stand up, but it was to no avail. Master, white spirit divine bird, said, "Why did you help it?" Little Pig suddenly asked. Qin froze. "I didn't help it." Little Pig curled its lips and said, "Master, you really got lucky. You clearly came to kill the white spirit divine bird for its spiritual core, but in the end, the white spirit divine bird mistakenly thought you came to help it fight the green-skinned snow devil." After understanding the situation, Qin also felt depressed. This big mistake was really too coincidental. Then what should I do now? After calming down, Qin felt troubled. The white spirit divine bird was already heavily injured. Qin could completely kill it now, but he couldn't do it. However, he heard Little Pig talking to the white spirit divine bird, and it was unclear what they were talking about. After a while, the two beasts seemed to have finished talking. Little Pig said with an expression as if it was receiving a reward, "Master, the matter is settled. How do you plan to reward Little Pig?" "I already told White Spirit Divine Bird why Master came. It said that its spiritual core was damaged in the battle, so it plans to refine a new spiritual core. As for its feathers, Master can just take a few. Just don't pluck it until it's bald. First, it doesn't look good, and second, it's too cold here." After hearing Little Pig's words, Qin rolled his eyes. He didn't think that beasts also cared about appearance. This White Spirit Divine Bird must be a female. The White Spirit Divine Bird couldn't read Qin's mind. Otherwise, if it knew that he was guessing its gender, it would definitely be depressed to death. Since both sides had reached an agreement, Qin didn't argue any further. He plucked 2 feathers from the White Spirit Divine Bird's body. The feathers were as white as snow and sparkled with a translucent light. When he held the feathers in his hand, Qin's state of mind seemed to reach another level. All his worries disappeared, and his heart was like still water. Even time seemed to stop. Could this be the time effect of the White Spirit Divine Bird's feathers? Qin muttered to himself. He seemed to understand the use of the White Spirit Divine Feather, but he felt like he was looking at flowers through a fog. However, no matter what, Qin knew that the White Spirit Divine Feather was a level 8 material. This kind of high-level material was an extremely rare existence. It was even more valuable than a bottle of void-breaking pills. When Qin put away the feathers, Wu Qiming had already rushed over. Shaoli was so scared that he lost his head. He even had the thought of dying here with Qin. Rumble. As soon as he arrived, he had already sent out a few palm strikes. A few black fog hurricanes blew in the soul-nurturing palace and filled the huge altar. For a moment, strange cries sounded. It was the miserable wails of millions of spirits. These spirits were trapped in the violent black fog hurricanes, and some of them were directly destroyed by the hurricanes. However, Wu Qiming's casual palm strikes had already proved his powerful strength. Qin was extremely nervous. He realized that he wasn't Wu Qiming's opponent. Moreover, he was in the witchcraft sect, so it was even harder to defeat him. Master, look, those spirits are flying towards us. The situation was urgent, so Xiao Li suddenly shouted. Qin Feng raised his eyebrows. He had already discovered that countless black fog was attacking them from all directions. This scene frightened Qin Feng. There were simply too many spirits flying towards them. Under the attacks of these spirits, his and Xiao Li's souls would be devoured in an instant. If he had a choice, he would rather fight Wu Qiming head-on than provoke these spirits. At the same time, Qin Feng was a little puzzled. He had used the heavenly fire to shock these spirits. Why did they start a counterattack? However, before Qin Feng could figure it out, hundreds of spirits had already shot into his body. He hurriedly used the spirit's sunflower flame to counterattack. In an instant, a large number of spirits were burned. His ears were filled with heart-wrenching screams. Master, these spirits don't seem to be attacking us, Xiao Li said with uncertainty. Qin Feng also felt that something was wrong. The spirits that were flying towards them did not have any threatening aura. Instead, they let out a pleading wail. However, Qin Feng did not dare to let down his guard. The spirit's sunflower flame danced on his hands. He stopped attacking, and those spirits crazily jumped into his body. Walala. Chapter 1820. Fortune of Heaven and Earth Art. The aura of the White Spirit Divine Bird's previous master? Qin Feng was shocked. If the White Spirit Divine Bird wanted to recognize him as its master because he cultivated the fortune of Heaven and Earth Art, then who was the previous master of this Grade 8 Spirit Divine Bird? Qin Feng knew very well that the fortune of Heaven and Earth Art was created by a great Tao hierarch with his entire life. It was known as the #1 cultivation method in the entire Divine Continent, and there was only one copy of this cultivation method. Could the previous master of the White Spirit Divine Bird be a great Tao hierarch? Master, it might not be what you think. After all, before you obtain the fortune of Heaven and Earth Art, no one knows if anyone else found this cultivation method. The great Tao hierarch is now only a legend, and no one knows when he disappeared. It could be a few hundred years ago, 1,000 years ago, or even 10,000 years ago. Little Pig's analysis was very thorough, but Qin Feng still had a doubt. Because there was only one copy of the fortune of Heaven and Earth Art, then why did the last cultivator who obtained this peerless secret cultivation method pass it down? At that time, the great Tao Ultimate God had become the strongest person on the Divine Continent. Qin Feng could understand that he was generous and selfless enough to pass on his knowledge. However, most people would keep the secret manuals for themselves. Why would they selflessly learn from the great Tao Ultimate God? At least, Qin Feng wouldn't do that now. He just wanted to hide the secret of the fortune of Heaven and Earth Art forever. Just like the old man who was trapped in the White Spirit Mountain Cave, Qin Feng believed that he wouldn't pass down the fortune of Heaven and Earth Art either. The White Spirit Divine Bird was still jumping around Qin Feng, as if it wouldn't stop unless Qin Feng agreed to take it in. The White Spirit Divine Bird was covered in wounds, and when it jumped, its wounds ruptured. Fresh blood stained the snow, but it didn't stop. Qin Feng's heart ached. He couldn't wait to subdue this Grade 8 spirit beast. Now that the White Spirit Divine Bird brought it up, he agreed without thinking. When Little Pig conveyed the message to the White Spirit Divine Bird, the Grade 8 spirit beast was as excited as a child. Qin Feng originally wanted to say goodbye to the White Spirit Divine Bird and leave, but since he had taken it in, he planned to heal its wounds before leaving. Ding! Congratulations, host Qin Feng, for successfully subduing the Grade 8 spirit beast White Spirit Divine Bird. The system rewards host Qin Feng 100,000 Hedonist points and 1 true weapon lottery ticket. Host points, 129,000. The system notification sounded. This was the quest to subdue the 10 great dire beasts that had been issued a long time ago. After receiving the reward for the taming the 10 great fierce beast quest, Qin Feng wondered why there was no reward for the collecting supreme cultivation methods and martial skills quest. After all, he had just collected the creation chapter not too long ago, And when he collected the creation chapter, the system rewarded him with 1,000,000 hedonist points and the astral world. After listening to Little Pig's explanation, Qin Feng understood that the creation chapter and the creation chapter were both part of the creation of heaven and earth art. They weren't separate rewards. In the blink of an eye, a month passed. Qin Feng had been cultivating on the White Spirit Mountain for the past month. At the same time, he had been helping the White Spirit Divine Bird recover its spirit core. With the help of the various pills he had concocted, the White Spirit Divine Bird had formed a new spirit core that was much stronger than the previous one. Qin Feng had also successfully broken through to the 7 changes of Buddha's aura. When he broke through, he had eaten 2 supreme spiritual pills. These pills were needed for a cultivator at the peak of the 9 changes of Buddha's aura to break through to the true spirit stage. Qin Feng had only broken through to the advanced stage of the Buddha's aura, but he had to eat these pills to help him. The lightning tribulation during his breakthrough was much stronger and more ferocious than before. At that time, even the White Spirit Divine Bird was shocked. However, the lightning tribulation this time was much easier to deal with. Qin Feng had concocted hundreds of lightning storage arrays in advance. When the lightning was full, he stored the lightning source in the energy slot. What surprised Qin Feng was that the energy slot was still not full after collecting all the lightning tribulation of the 7 changes of Buddha's aura. It was obvious that the energy slot's capacity was shocking. Qin Feng had bought the smallest energy slot in the system. Apart from breaking through and helping the White Spirit Divine Bird form a new spiritual pill, Qin Feng had done many things in the past month. He had concocted many pills and almost used up all the medicinal ingredients he had collected. However, he didn't concoct the White Spirit pill because it was a rank 5 rank 7 imperial pill. With Qin Feng's current alchemy skills, he couldn't concoct it. He had also completed the imprisonment array and received a reward of 1,000,000 hedonist points from the system's limited edition interface. At the same time, he was also awarded a hidden realm lottery ticket. Qin Feng calculated that he had won 129,000,000 hedonist points. He only needed to spend another 3,000,000 hedonist points to become a rank 9 hedonist mortal. In other words, he would have to earn another 2,000,000 hedonist points to level up. Qin Feng valued the hedonist rank very much. Every time he leveled up, the rewards were very powerful. The Star Technology realm and the Immortal Island realm were rewards that were unlocked after he leveled up. It snowed all year round on the White Spirit Mountain, creating a beautiful scene of snowy mountains. Even if one wasn't in the real White Spirit Mountain, one could still see the snowy scenery. The temperature in this area was around -40 to -50 degrees Celsius all year round. Even a Buddha's light stage cultivator would freeze to death if he didn't have a protective artifact. Wu Liemo and the others waited outside the White Spirit Mountain for a whole month. Fortunately, they were all true spirit stage cultivators, so they didn't freeze to death in a foreign land. However, it didn't feel good to sit cross-legged in the snow every day and cultivate at -50 degrees Celsius. Junior Marshal Brother Hu Sui, is your formation working? That brat didn't escape from somewhere else, did he? Jiang Fei from the South Pingzhou's drifting Jiang clan complained. Even with his calm and determined mentality, he couldn't take it anymore. Wu Liemo and Chong Yu couldn't take it anymore either. However, because the 3 South Pingzhou seniors didn't say anything, they didn't dare to say anything. As for the Xian medical sect's great elder Han Jinseng, he was killed by the 7-star formation's killing formation a month ago. Seniors, this place is lacking in spiritual qi and the temperature is extremely low. There aren't even any spiritual plants or beasts around. Why don't we go back? Wu Liemo suggested carefully. Chong Yu immediately agreed. Even if that Brad Zheng really escaped, he only escaped from the White Spirit Mountain. Seniors, don't worry. Our Thunder Sect is the #1 demon sect in the North Sand region. We have many disciples. We will definitely find that Brad Zheng. Also, Brother Wu Limo's Invincible Sect is the #1 sect in the North Sand region. I believe they will also try their best to catch Zheng Shuai. Wu Liemo nodded quickly. The two of them looked at the three South Pingzhou seniors pitifully. Jiang Fei and Tai Sek's great elder Zhang Baishan sighed. It seemed like they were starting to waver. However, Hu Sui's tone was unusually firm. As a level 5 spiritual array master, how can I make such a small mistake? Since I said that Brat Zheng will appear here, he will definitely appear. Seeing that Hu Sui was so determined, the few of them didn't say anything else. However, they weren't spiritual array masters and knew nothing about spiritual arrays. They didn't understand why Hu Sui was so confident. Over the past month, Hu Sui had said something like this a few times. At first, he was able to bring some comfort to everyone. However, as time passed, even Jiang Fei and Zhang Baishan didn't believe him. Junior brother Hu Sui, I have no doubts about your spiritual array skills. However, none of us have been to the White Spirit Mountain. Who knows what's going on inside? Maybe there really are other exit spiritual arrays. Zheng Shuai might have escaped through those spiritual arrays. Jiang Fei voiced out his thoughts. Hu Sui's body trembled. A look of realization appeared on his face. What senior brother Jiang said is highly possible. It's all my fault. I was only thinking about the teleportation array in front of me. I didn't think about anything else. It seems like we've waited for nothing for more than a month. As soon as he said that, Wu Liemo and Chong Yu looked at him fiercely. If not for the fact that they knew they weren't Hu Sui's match, the two of them would have cut him into pieces. Because of this guy's carelessness, everyone had been frozen in this world of ice and snow for a month. Sigh. Since that's the case, let's part ways here. Zhang Baishan sighed and was about to fly away. He was afraid that if he stayed for another second, he wouldn't be able to control himself and attack Hu Sui. Jiang Fei was also frustrated. He looked at Chong Yu and Wu Liemo and said, "Then we'll do as you said. Send people to look for Zheng Shuai. If you find him, inform us immediately. If you don't, you know the consequences." As the great elder of the North Sand region's #1 sect, the Invincible sect, and the great protector of the #1 demon sect, the Lightning sect, Wu Liemo and Chong Yu had high statuses in the North Sand region. Usually, they could do whatever they wanted and order others to do things. Who would have thought that they would be threatened today? Yet, the two of them didn't complain at all. In fact, they even felt nervous. Senior Jiang, don't worry. How would I dare to hide the truth from you? If we really manage to catch Zheng Shuai, I will inform you immediately. Wu Liemo said immediately. Chong Yu said the same thing. Everyone looked at the White Spirit Mountain behind them. They shook their heads and sighed. Just as they were about to leave, they heard a muffled sound. What's that white light? Jiang Fei was confused. Hu Sui exclaimed, "The teleportation array I set up has been activated. Someone is coming out from it." It must be that Zheng Shuai, the 5 people who were about to leave, stopped in their tracks. Their bodies emitted a strong aura. Thinking about how they had to suffer in the cold and wait for Qin Feng for more than a month, they wanted to cut him into 1,000 pieces. Under the gaze of the 5 of them, a white light appeared in the air below the White Spirit Mountain. The white light spread from a star to the size of a wall of light, and Qin Feng flew out of the light formation with a giant bird in tow. Ayo! As soon as they landed, the White Spirit God Bird let out a high-pitched cry. It was unknown whether it was because it was reluctant to leave the White Spirit Mountain or because it felt the killing intent. No matter what its motive was, this cry brought with it a strong aura. Half of the snow mountain behind them collapsed. Jiang Fei and the others felt as if there was an earthquake under their feet. Chapter 1821. That spiritual bird is not simple. Everyone, be careful. Jiang Fei leaped and landed on a small snow hill 100 meters away. He looked at the white spiritual bird from Qin Feng. Mo Wooly exclaimed, "There's a spiritual bird on White Spiritual Mountain. A spiritual bird that comes out of the cave. That's the White Spiritual Bird." His exclamation made everyone excited. The other 4 recognized the White Spiritual Bird too. What Mo Wooly said was just a legend. Even Jiang Fei and the others did not know if the legend was true. However, after seeing the White Spiritual Bird, they realized that the legend was true. Since the White Spiritual Bird existed, there must be a cave. Qin Feng must have been to the cave and might have obtained the treasures in the cave. Huh, I told you that grandson would definitely come out from the teleportation formation that I set up. I never lie. Hu Sui shouted excitedly after he came back to his senses. Although Jiang Fei and the others didn't say anything to him, he knew that Jiang Fei and the others were unhappy with him. Now, that Qin Feng really came out, and it was very likely that he came out with the treasures in the divine cavern. Hu Sui regained his dignity. Jiang Fei and the others rolled their eyes. They knew that Qin Feng's appearance was just their luck. It had nothing to do with the teleportation formation that Hu Sui had set up. However, they would not fight among themselves over such a small matter when their enemy was right in front of them. Their so-called enemy was not Qin Feng, but the white spiritual bird that was standing next to him. It's rumored that the spirit bird guarding the White Spirit Mountain's immortal cave is an 8th grade spirit beast. It has long-developed intelligence and can understand what we're saying, Mo Woolley suddenly said. The other 4 looked serious. They were only true spirit-level cultivators. It would be a lie if they were not worried about a level 8 spiritual beast that was as powerful as an empty god-level cultivator. However, they could not understand. Wasn't this level 8 spiritual bird the guard that guarded the cave? How could it let Qin Feng enter the cave? How did Qin Feng manage to bring this level 8 spirit bird out? White spiritual bird, we mean you no harm. We just have some conflicts with the young man next to you. Please leave this place. Jiang Fei was the first to speak. As he spoke, a powerful aura erupted from his body, showing his cultivation at the 7th true spirit realm. The other 4 seemed to have formed a tacit understanding and released their auras at the same time. Invincible Sex Wu Li Mo had stepped into True Spirit Realm 3. Thundercult's Protector Chong Yu had stepped into Demon Venerable Level 2. South Flat States Tai Sex Great Elder Zhang Baishan was a True Spirit Realm 6 expert and Rank 5 Spiritual Array Master, Hu Sui had also stepped into True Spirit Realm 6. Such a powerful lineup would definitely shock anyone in the Northern Sand region. Even major forces like the Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce and the Hall of Fame generals would not let their guard down. However, Jiang Fei and the other 4 were extremely nervous. They were really afraid that the White Spirit Divine Bird would not leave, and if that was the case, an intense battle would definitely break out. As soon as he came out, he saw Jiang Fei and the others. Qin Feng was elated. When he heard that the 5 of them had tried to scare away the White Spirit Godbird, he laughed out loud. You 5 bastards, not only did you want to frame me, you even dare to stay here and rob my belongings. Do you really think I'm useless? Halfway through his sentence, Qin Feng seemed to have discovered something. He paused for a moment before continuing, where's old thief Cold Ginseng of the Xian medical sect? Could it be that he was killed by the hidden killing array of the 7 Stars Array? This is really something to be happy about. The 5 of them did not have a deep friendship with Cold Ginseng. The 6 of them had only temporarily gathered together for a common goal. However, Qin Feng's arrogant attitude made the 5 of them very unhappy. From their point of view, if the White Spirit Divine Bird was not here, any one of them would be able to kill Qin Feng with a single palm strike. Little grandson, don't be too arrogant. Immediately hand over all the treasures on you, and we can spare your little life. Hu Sui shouted. Qin Feng sneered. Let alone the fact that the White Spirit Divine Bird was here, even if he did not subdue this level 8 Spirit Divine Bird, he would not be afraid of the 5 people in front of him. Now that he had stepped into the 7 changes of Buddha aura, he was confident that he could fight against cultivators in the early stage of the True Spirit Realm and even kill them. Even if he could not defeat Zhang Baishan and the other 2 old fellows in the late stage of the True Spirit Realm, he could just use the Earth Escape Talisman to escape. He would not be threatened by them. It's still broad daylight, and you guys are already dreaming. The treasures on me are my personal belongings. Why should I hand them over to you? Qin Feng's seemingly idiotic question stumped Jiang Fei and the others. Just as Qin Feng had said, his treasures were his personal belongings. What reason did others have to take them? However, this was the divine supreme continent, a place where only the strong were respected. There was no such thing as personal belongings. When one's strength was not enough, One's belongings could fall into someone else's storage ring at any time. Wooly Mo had been frozen in the snow for more than a month. His patience had long run out. He shouted coldly at Qin Feng, surnamed Zheng, "Aren't you just relying on the white spirit divine bird to intimidate others? Don't be too happy just yet. The white spirit divine bird might not be a match for us if we join forces." He wasn't boasting. After all, there were 3 other venerables from the South Flat Continent in the group. Even if the 5 of them combined their cultivation bases, they would still be far from being as powerful as the white spirit divine bird. However, to be able to reach their current positions, which one of them didn't have many Dharma treasures and true weapons on them. There's no need for my little white to deal with an ant like you. I can kill you myself. Qin Feng's words were too shocking. How could he be so arrogant? He was in the Buddha light realm, but he did not put true spirit realm cultivators in his eyes. Also, did he just call the white spirit divine bird little white? What was going on? Oof. Who doesn't know how to brag? Since you think you're so powerful, do you dare to fight me one-on-one? Wooly Mo shouted. Qin Feng had been waiting for him to say this. He had broken through from the 3 changes of Buddhist light to the 7 changes of Buddhist light, but he had yet to find a true opponent to fight. Although he had fought with the green-skinned snow devil a month ago, that opponent was too strong, and he had been completely oppressed. Wooly Mo's current situation was exactly what Qin Feng wanted. He estimated that with his current strength, he could only fight an early-stage, true spirit realm cultivator. Even if he encountered a true spirit realm cultivator, he could only run. All right, let's fight one-on-one. Life and death will be decided by fate. No one else is allowed to interfere. How about that? Qin Feng immediately agreed. Wooly Mo and the others were stunned and looked at Qin Feng in surprise. If they had not been tricked by this brat once, they would have thought that there was something wrong with Qin Feng's intelligence. However, the 5 of them knew very well that this guy was very shrewd and intelligent. He even tricked the 6 of them into going around in circles. In the end, he changed the formation to kill Frost Ginseng and flew into White Spirit Mountain alone. For a moment, Wooly Mo became listless and did not dare to reply to Qin Feng. He felt that something was wrong. Jiang Fei had already recovered and said to Wooly Mo anxiously, "Don't just stand there. Since the one surnamed Zheng wants to fight with you, you should accept it." The others also came to their senses. As long as that level 8 spirit bird does not interfere, dealing with a late-stage Buddha Light Realm Junior is a piece of cake. Hu Sui's words were extremely arrogant. Brother Wu quickly agreed. It's also because that grandson did not dare to challenge me. Otherwise, I would have personally killed him, Chong Yu said aggressively. Under everyone's encouragement, the trace of apprehension in Wooly Mo's heart instantly disappeared. He even laughed at himself. A mere 7 transformations Buddha light actually made him feel fear. If this matter were spread, how would he be able to survive in the northern sand continent in the future? Seniors, you've misunderstood. I was just thinking about how to kill that grandson. Now that I've thought about it, I'll just cut off his limbs. Wooly Mo hurriedly found an excuse for himself. The 4 of them did not say much. They did not care about Wooly Mo's fear. They only cared about the treasures on Qin Feng's body. Wooly Mo took a step forward and unknowingly took out a golden dragon slaughtering saber and placed it on his shoulder. He coldly looked at Qin Feng, who was standing tens of meters away. "Little grandson, you're courting death. Grandpa will fulfill your wish." Boom! He casually swung his blade, but it caused the air in front of him to explode. It was as if before the blade even landed, Qin Feng could already feel death enveloping him. A true spirit stage ranker's attack was not only a powerful aura. There were also a few divine sense attacks surrounding Qin Feng, attempting to break through his sea of consciousness's defense. However, Wooly Mo's plan was flawless, but just as it started, he realized that his plan had been broken by Qin Feng. He looked into the distance in disbelief, where there was a several 100-meter-long snow pit, but he could not see Qin Feng's figure. Or rather, there was a flash of golden light, and Qin Feng had already flown to who knows where. The atmosphere suddenly froze, and the temperature seemed to have dropped by tens of degrees. Not only was Wu Li Mo stunned, even Jiang Fei and the others found it hard to explain what had happened. They had all felt the few divine sense attacks that Wu Li Mo had released. Those were the divine sense of a true spirit stage ranker. How could a Buddha light cultivator block them? Logically speaking, under the sweep of that divine sense, Qin Feng's sea of consciousness should have instantly collapsed, and he would be like a puppet waiting to be slaughtered. However, a loud explosion suddenly sounded out in the air, and Qin Feng's counterattack had already landed. Rumble, rumble, rumble. A golden light pierced through the sky. Qin Feng was also using a gold-grade long blade. This blade strike was very sudden, and its aura was not any weaker than Wu Li Mo's previous attack. Only when the blade glow flashed above his head did Wu Li Mo suddenly wake up. He hurriedly raised the dragon-slaughtering saber to block, but when the blade glow collided, he was pushed back by a wild aura. Pung, pung, pung. Every time Wu Li Mo took a step back, a small hole would appear under his feet, and there were continuous sounds of explosions coming from his body. When he finally stabilized his body after 10 steps back, the spirit armor he was wearing had shattered and fallen to the ground, turning into a pile of scrap metal. The two's first clash had ended in a split second, but in this simple clash, Wu Li Mo and the other's eyes almost popped out of their sockets. Qin Feng's strength had surpassed their imaginations. He was clearly a junior at the Buddha Light 7 transformation, but he could dodge the divine sense attack of a true spirit stage ranker. Moreover, with a counterattack, he had forced Wu Li Mo into a disadvantage. Chapter 1822. How was this possible? How did you do it? Wu Li Mo's arrogance disappeared as he stared at Qin Feng in disbelief. Not only him, but the other 4 people also stared at Qin Feng. They wanted to get a satisfactory answer from him. What do you mean, how'd I do it? You're asking me how I defeated you? You can't even understand such a simple question? Of course it's because you're too weak. You can't even withstand a single blow. Qin Feng purposely provoked him. He knew that in a battle between experts, one's mentality was extremely important. Wu Li Mo's face turned red. Obviously, he was holding back his anger. When he thought about how he was forced back by a late-stage Buddha light cultivator, he felt as if an invisible hand was slapping his face. Wu Li Mo's body suddenly surged with endless killing intent. In his eyes, Qin Feng had to die today. Otherwise, he wouldn't have the face to stay in the North Sand region anymore. Don't think you can be arrogant just because you have a magic treasure that can block divine sense. There's no need to use divine sense against an ant like you. Even if I use my true yuan, I can still kill you. Once a cultivator stepped into the true spirit realm, their inner chi would turn into true yuan. True yuan was many times stronger than the inner chi in the dantian. This was why a true spirit realm cultivator could instantly kill a Buddha light cultivator. With a roar, Wu Li Mo attacked again. His words just now reminded Jiang Fei and the others. The 4 of them revealed a look of realization and let out a long sigh of relief. It seemed like Wu Li Mo was right. Qin Feng definitely had a magic treasure that could block divine sense. Rumble. A loud explosion sounded again. Wu Li Mo really gave up on his divine sense attack. He casually swung his saber, and the air in front of him split open. A golden saber light quickly spread out, reaching hundreds of meters away in the blink of an eye. His saber missed. Qin Feng had already dodged on his flying sword. Ever since he stepped into the Buddha Light 7 changes, his speed was astonishing. Wu Li Mo was extremely depressed after missing twice in a row. The person in front of him was just a Buddha Light cultivator. In the past, he could kill a Buddha Light cultivator with 1 saber strike. But just as he was feeling angry, a gust of wind came from behind him. Qin Feng stood in the sky and swung his golden phoenix. The golden light was like a rainbow falling to the ground, creating sparks above Wu Li Mo's head. When Wu Li Mo came back to his senses, he was already in the center of the explosion. He immediately tried to block with his saber, but just as he raised his arm, his body was sent flying by the violent airflow. Rumble. When he landed on the ground, he created a huge crater. The eyes of Jiang Fei and the other three fell to the ground. They almost made a move, but when they saw the white spirit divine bird staring at them warily, the four of them could only give up on the idea. Even Qin Fun himself was shocked. This was the first time he fought with a cultivator after breaking through to the 7 transformations of Buddha aura. He realized that his current strength was much stronger than he had imagined. It was also because of his surprise that he missed the best opportunity to kill Wu Liemo. A loud sound came from the ground as Wu Liemo leaped out. A ferocious aura surged from his body, and his eyes were bloodshot. A true spirit realm cultivator was beaten up by a Buddha light realm cultivator. This was probably the first time something like this had happened in the northern Sand Continent. Even if a Saint King realm cultivator killed a Buddha light realm cultivator, or an early-stage Buddha light realm cultivator killed a late-stage Buddha light realm cultivator, there would never be a Buddha light realm cultivator killing a true spirit realm cultivator. This was because the true spirit realm was the sign that a cultivator had truly stepped onto the high-level path of cultivation. Once a cultivator entered the true spirit realm, the cultivator's Dantian Qi would condense into true essence and form a spirit core in the body. Once the spirit core appeared, even if the cultivator's physical body was destroyed, as long as the spirit core was intact, they could be reborn. However, if they lost their cultivation, they would have to start all over again. Grandson with the surname Zheng, today, this old man will kill you even if I have to use all my strength. Wu Liemo was completely enraged. Previously, he wanted to kill Qin Fun for the treasures he had. But now, he didn't even care about the treasures. He just wanted to kill this person from the bottom of his heart. This time, he was not in a hurry to attack. With a flip of his hand, the golden saber that was originally on his shoulder turned into a thin silver sword. The thin sword looked very ordinary. Just from its appearance, it looked like an ordinary silver sword. However, the body of the sword was filled with turbulent spirit qi. With just a glance, Qin Fun could tell that it was a true artifact grade sword. With the long sword in hand, Wu Liemo's eyes quickly calmed down. Even the aura on his body changed. The surging murderous intent suddenly disappeared. It was like a deep and unfathomable ocean. What a good sword, Qin Fun exclaimed. He knew that the reason why Wu Liemo's mentality and aura changed so much in such a short period of time was because of the silver long sword in his hand. While Qin Fun was staring at the long sword, Wu Liemo struck out. Whoosh! The sword was very soft and only made a slight sword hum. Compared to the aura of the Dragon Slayer Golden Saber, it was a completely different style. Qin Fun immediately came to his senses, but he quickly froze. He tried to find where the sword Qi was, but there was no aura in front of him. This reminded him of the shadowless sword of Broken Hung Mountain. The sword Qi was also hidden, making it impossible for people to detect it. However, he knew that the sword Qi of the shadowless sword was hidden because of the speed at which the sword was drawn. That was why Qin Fun rarely used the shadowless sword. It was only effective when he killed a cultivator whose level was lower than his. If he killed a cultivator whose level was higher than his, the sword Qi would be easily detected. However, Wu Liemo's sword attack was very different. The speed at which he drew his sword was not fast at all. In fact, it was like an old man or old woman practicing the Tai Chi sword in the park in the morning. However, the sword Qi did not appear. Instead, a strange aura of death became more and more intense. Swoosh! Emoli Mo's first strike finally landed. It took him 4 to 5 seconds to finish. If he was on the Divine Continent, he would have been killed by his opponent before he could even finish his strike. Rumble! However, the moment the sword landed, Qin Fun was surrounded by a violent explosion. Thousands of sword Qi suddenly appeared out of nowhere. Quite a few sword Qi had already landed on Qin Feng's body. He immediately wanted to dodge, but the sword Qi was too sudden. A layer of gentle light appeared on his body, and it was as if he was wearing a layer of water. When the sword Qi collided with the water, it created a wondrous scene of ripples. Water Spirit True Armor? You have been to the Divine Grotto. You got this true armor from the Divine Grotto, right? Wu Liemo exclaimed. His eyes were fixed on the armor on Qin Fun's body. For a moment, he forgot to attack. Jiang Fei and the others were also dumbfounded. In a place like the Northern Sand region where resources were scarce, there were very few true level treasures. Even a few of them only had 1 or 2 true level treasures. But Qin Feng, a mere Buddha's light advanced stage cultivator, was actually able to get his hands on the water spirit true armor. They wouldn't believe it even if they were beaten to death if they said that he didn't get it from the divine cave. This kid must have been to the divine grotto. Brother Wu, use your full strength to destroy his Dantian and capture him alive, Chong Yu shouted excitedly. Jiang Fei and the other 2 glanced at the white spirit divine bird. They wanted nothing more than to personally take down Qin Feng. However, they saw that the grade 8 spirit divine bird was staring at their every move. This made the 3 of them extremely depressed. They didn't know what kind of bewitching drug the man with the surname Zhang had fed the white spirit divine bird. It actually made a grade 8 spirit beast willingly submit to it. Swoosh! Another subtle sword hum sounded. Wu Li Mo's second sword strike fell. Perhaps it was because he saw the water spirit true armor, but his sword movements became even slower. An endless chill shot out from his body. The chill spread quickly, making Qin Fen feel like the surrounding temperature was about to freeze. A faintly discernible waning moon appeared behind Wu Li Mo. When the waning moon appeared, Qin Fen suddenly had an extremely familiar feeling. He suddenly thought of the moon shame sword skill that Ren Xiaoyao used. It was exactly the same as the waning moon sword skill that Wu Li Mo used. However, Wu Li Mo's sword skills were more exquisite, and the hidden killing intent was more turbulent. Rumble. Unknowingly, countless sword chi had already enveloped him. When Qin Fen realized the danger and wanted to escape, there was no way out. Under the fierce impact of the sword chi, even the water spirit true armor couldn't withstand it. The ripples on the armor gradually became smaller and smaller, and tiny cracks appeared on the inside. It seemed like the armor was going to break if it continued like this. Qin Fen was in a difficult situation, but he didn't feel nervous or afraid. Instead, he felt happy because he saw the waning moon sword skill. Back in China, Qin Fen realized that Ren Xiaoyao's moonshame sword skill was an extremely high-level sword skill that was rarely seen on Earth. The sword skill that Wu Li Mo was using was an enhanced version of the moonshame sword skill. Qin Fen planned to secretly learn it and then teach it to Ren Xiaoyao. This set of sword skills was too profound. Even though Qin Fen had used the heart chant of creation, he still couldn't understand the essence of the sword skills after seeing Wu Li Mo use them twice. He could have broken free from the restraints of the sword chi and counterattacked Wu Li Mo, but he stood still and waited for Wu Li Mo to attack again. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Another 3 strikes fell. Each time Wu Li attacked, it felt like his movements were very slow. However, after a moment, thousands of sword lights mysteriously condensed and surrounded Qin Fen. He didn't even have a chance to escape. Under the continuous impact of these violent sword chi, Qin Feng's body was filled with loud noises, and the water spirit true armor was covered with cracks. Qin Feng's thoughts moved slightly, and he hurriedly put it back into the 10,000 treasure pavilion to be nurtured. When the armor disappeared, a playful smile appeared on Wu Li Mo's face. He realized that Qin Fen couldn't hold on for much longer. Perhaps after his next strike, the brat would be heavily injured and fall to the ground. Whoosh! Little grandson, fall for me. Wu Li Mo seemed to have released all of his pent-up frustration. The silver sword in his hand danced slowly, and Qin Fen's eyes lit up. He felt as if he had grasped something. It was an indescribable feeling, but he knew it was the effect of the heart chant of creation. He seemed to have some understanding of the waning moon sword skill that Wu Li Mo used. Whoosh! When the white light flashed in his mind, Qin Fen instinctively swung his sword. His sword was twice as fast as Wu Li Mo's, but after his sword landed, there was no attack. After another second, Wu Li Mo's expression changed dramatically. He stared at Qin Fen as if he was a monster. How did you do it? Chapter 1823. Boom! Just as Mo finished speaking, a loud explosion occurred on his body. He stood rooted to the ground, ignoring the bloody mess on his body. Like an idiot, he kept repeating the same question. How did you do it? Not only was Mo asking this question, but the other four were also confused. When Mo used the waning moon sword art, even Jiang Fei and the other two from the South Flat Continent were shocked. This sword art was extremely profound. The sword chi was hidden and invisible, but it instantly condensed into thousands of killing intents, making it impossible to defend. Jiang Fei, Zhang Baishan, and Hu Sui even wondered if they could break Mo's sword art in such a short period of time if they were in Mo's place. The answer in the hearts of the three was impossible. In such a short period of time, even they couldn't break Mo's sword art. They either tried their best to avoid the sharp sword chi, or forcefully resisted it and broke through the sword chi. However, Qin Feng brought up a third possibility. In such a short period of time, he actually comprehended Mo's waning moon sword art and used it to severely injure Mo not long ago. When a loud explosion sounded, Mo fell to the ground and couldn't get up. The air froze. The truth was hard for everyone to accept, and they even mocked him. How did you do it? Mo was still asking. His hair was disheveled, and he looked like a mess. His eyes were empty, and he didn't even look at Qin Feng when he asked. He just muttered to himself like an idiot. This battle completely destroyed Mo's confidence and even destroyed his understanding of realms. In his mind, no matter how powerful a Buddha light realm cultivator was, he couldn't be a match for a true spirit realm cultivator. However, he was defeated by Qin Feng in such a way. Defeating you is nothing. Secretly learning your sword technique is also a piece of cake. I did it so easily. Qin Feng's words made Mo spit blood. Before he could say anything, Qin Feng raised his sword and used the waning moon sword art again. This time, it was even more powerful than last time. Rumble. With a loud bang, Wu Limo's body exploded into pieces, but a weak white ball of light flew out from the explosion, trying to escape. Master, that's Limo's elixir. Hurry and destroy it, or else Limo can regenerate. Little Pig said. Qin Feng was stunned. This was the first time he killed a true spirit realm cultivator by himself, and he almost forgot about the elixir. When he regained his senses, the ball of white light had already flown thousands of meters away. However, no matter how fast he was, he couldn't escape Qin Feng's palm. After a few flashes of golden light, Qin Feng had caught up to the spirit pill. He casually swung his sword, and the spirit pill exploded into smoke. When the spirit pill exploded, Qin Feng seemed to hear Mo Wuji's heart-wrenching screams, but he didn't care. He flew over to where Mo Wuji's body exploded and put his storage ring into his bag. A true spirit realm cultivator died at the hands of a Buddha light realm cultivator. No one would believe this. When the storage ring came into Qin Feng's hand, a powerful aura suddenly attacked him. Qin Feng's expression changed. At the same time, he felt a powerful divine sense sweep over him. He felt a sharp pain in his divine sense, and his body couldn't react. Killing intent filled the air. Qin Feng knew that the three South Flat State cultivators had made a move. Although he had easily killed Wooly Mo, who was in the true spirit realm, Qin Feng felt powerless against a late-stage, true spirit realm expert. Roar. At this critical moment, Qin Feng heard the white spirit divine bird's roar. Its roar sounded extremely angry, and with just a single roar, it actually shattered the void. Qin Feng felt that the powerful divine sense was shattered, and his body also quickly regained its freedom. Pooh! This roar was more ferocious than Qin Feng had expected. He finally saw the attacker. It was Zhang Baishan from the South Flat Continent's Tai sect. Zhang Baishan was sent flying and spat out a few mouthfuls of blood. It seemed that he had suffered internal injuries from the white spirit divine bird's roar. This scene shocked Qin Feng. That was a late-stage, true spirit realm cultivator. The white spirit divine bird's strength was too abnormal. Hu Sui and Jiang Fei's eyes flashed with panic. The Thunder Sect protector Chong Yue's legs were trembling. He felt fear in his heart. He had said that Qin Feng was lucky that Qin Feng didn't challenge him, but now he knew that it was his own luck. Junior brothers, I have something to do. I'll leave first. That grandson's treasure belongs to you. Jiang Fei made the first decision. Although the treasures in the White Spirit Mountain Immortal Cave were very tempting, they were useless in front of their lives. They needed to be alive to use them. Hu Sui also came to his senses. He no longer had any thoughts of staying. The level 8 Spirit Divine Bird was extremely ferocious. The three of them were still thinking that they could trap the White Spirit Divine Bird for a while. Now that the Divine Bird had made its move, they realized that they were overthinking. Once the two of them left, Chong Yue didn't have the courage to stay. He immediately took out a blood-red flying sword and flew into the sky. Only Zhang Baishan was lying on the ground with serious injuries. He also wanted to leave, but he couldn't summon his true essence for a while. Little White, don't let them go, Qin Feng immediately ordered. The four of them knew that he had been to the White Spirit Mountain Immortal Cave. If they were left alive, it would be a huge problem in the future. Actually, with Qin Feng's current strength, he wasn't afraid that the four of them would come looking for him in the future. What he was most worried about was the old monster sealed in the stone wall of the Immortal Cave. According to the old man, he had been trapped in the cave for 100 years. One could only imagine how long he had lived. Such an old monster was as powerful as those immortal venerables who had not entered the world. In fact, that old man was even more terrifying than those immortal venerables in the North Sand region. Qin Feng had stolen the old monster's creation technique. He was afraid that the old man would come looking for him when he came out. Rumble. As if at the same time Qin Feng gave the order, a loud explosion sounded in the distance. He raised his head and saw that the White Spirit Divine Bird had caught up to Hu Sui. It flapped its huge wings a few times and formed two giant tornadoes. Hu Sui was trapped in the tornadoes and was blown to death. The spiritual core in his body had just flown out when it was destroyed in the tornadoes. The White Spirit Divine Bird immediately chased after Jiang Fei. Because Hu Sui and Jiang Fei had escaped in two different directions, Jiang Fei could no longer be seen. As for Chong Yue, the White Spirit Divine Bird didn't care about him. He probably wanted to deal with this little ant last. However, the White Spirit Divine Bird didn't have to worry about him. Qin Feng had already taken out the 100-mile light sniper. He opened the long-range scope, and Chong Yue became a black dot in the light mirror. Qin Feng immediately aimed at the black dot and fired. The moment the shot was fired, the weather changed. Numerous waist-thick lightning bolts flashed in the sky. Chapter 1824. Rumble. There was a loud explosion. The lightning was fast and landed on Chong Yu's body in the blink of an eye. Dream Follower. Lottie's was one of the 9 sure-kill lightning tribulations, the 9 changes true lightning. The powerful attack stunned Chong Yu. He tried to circulate his demonic yuan to protect his body, but before he could do so, his body exploded into pieces. Rumble. A red bead flew out from the sea of lightning. This was a demon fetus formed when the demon race reached the demon venerable realm. It was similar to a spirit core formed in the body of a true spirit realm cultivator. When the demon fetus exploded, Chong Yu was completely destroyed. A level 2 demon venerable had fallen. If the demonic cultivators saw this, their eyes would pop out of their sockets. The lightning continued to explode in the sky for a long time. Qin Fen immediately turned his spear and pointed it at Tai Sec's Zhang Baishan. Zhang Baishan had been internally injured by the White Spirit Divine Bird's explosion. Seeing Jiang Fei and the others escape, he became impatient. But even now, the chaotic true qi in his body had not stabilized. When Bailey Guang aimed at Zhang Baishan, his heart inexplicably skipped a beat. This was an instinctive reaction to danger after a true spirit realm expert gained divine sense. Not to mention that Zhang Baishan had seen Qin Fen kill Chong Yu in one shot. Even if Chong Yu was only at the early stage of the true spirit realm, The power of that shot was not to be underestimated. So when the aura of death rose from the bottom of his heart, Zhang Baishan didn't even think about it and tried his best to escape. His figure had just run a few hundred meters away when the ground he was standing on was bombarded by several bolts of lightning, turning it into ruins. Qin Fen didn't expect his shot to miss. He thought that Zhang Baishan was seriously injured and would definitely die to the light sniper. But now it seemed that he had underestimated his opponent. The opponent was still a true spirit realm expert. How could he be killed so easily? Qin Fen immediately felt sorry for that shot. He had wasted several bolts of lightning in the energy tank. These bolts of lightning were collected when he broke through the lightning tribulations, and every time he broke through, the lightning tribulations were fatal. In other words, that shot just now cost him a lot of lives. Qin Fen was startled. This description didn't seem right. However, just as he was distracted, Zhang Baishan unexpectedly counterattacked with a saber. Even though this old fellow was heavily injured, his saber still swept up a violent hurricane and instantly sent Qin Fen flying. The hurricane didn't dissipate for a long time. Qin Fen's body swayed unsteadily in the wind. He tried to use his flying sword to break through the center of the hurricane, but a powerful divine sense suppressed his brain. He couldn't even use his flying sword. He thought he could instantly kill Zhang Baishan with a 100-mile light sniper, but now he had fallen into this situation. Qin Fen knew that he had been too careless. A true spirit cultivator was much stronger than he had imagined. Qin Fen tried to use his divine sense to communicate with the white spirit divine bird and ask it to come back to help. However, Zhang Baishan had obviously thought of this as well. His divine sense attack was extremely powerful and actually suppressed Qin Fen's divine sense. Little grandson, you're just a Buddha light realm ant, and you want to kill this old man? If it wasn't for that grade 8 spirit divine bird, you would have already died without a burial. Seeing the situation turn around, Zhang Baishan immediately became arrogant. He knew that the white spirit divine bird could come back at any time, so all of his attacks were killing moves. He was even a bit pleasantly surprised. He thought that if he killed Qin Fen before the white spirit divine bird returned, wouldn't he be pocketing all the treasures in the immortal cave? Thinking of this, Zhang Baishan's attacks became even more ferocious. Life was truly a mysterious thing. Before, he had only thought about surviving, but now he had to kill Qin Fen and take his treasures. Rumble, rumble, rumble. For a time, the sky was filled with explosions. It seemed like the white spirit divine bird had chased very far away. Otherwise, it would have sensed the commotion here. Qin Fen felt somewhat depressed. He knew that he couldn't rely on the white spirit divine bird anymore. Everything depended on his own strength. However, his body was trapped in the hurricane of saber chi, and he couldn't break free. He wanted to use the true E-Sword's divine sense attack to deal with Zhang Baishan, but the effect wasn't obvious. Because the water spirit true armor had already been stored in the 10,000 treasures pavilion, the sky-covering saber chi slammed into his body. His white robe was blasted into pieces, and even his body was blasted into a bloody mess. Qin Fen didn't have the time to care about the pain in his body. He was extremely depressed at this kind of fighting style where he couldn't even retaliate. Ha ha! The heavens are truly looking out for me. Little grandson, you can die in peace. This old man will bring your treasures to Rome, the northern sand region. Zhang Baishan's smile became even wider. He could tell that Qin Fen was in a dire situation. He immediately flew over and struck out with his palm. Instantly, a huge palm imprint appeared, seemingly covering half the sky. Qin Fen felt like he was enveloped by death. He knew that this was Zhang Baishan's true attack with his full power. Even though Zhang Baishan was heavily injured, the power of this palm was still incomparably strong. At least, Qin Fen felt that he couldn't block it. If he couldn't break free from the restraints of the saber chi hurricane, he would definitely die here. In the blink of an eye, the huge palm imprint, which was hundreds of meters away, appeared in front of him. Qin Fen was so anxious that he broke out in cold sweat. He instinctively took out his shackles and slashed out with his saber. Wong. The shackles slashed down, but it didn't release the violent saber chi that he had imagined. A strange energy rippled around Qin Feng's body, and he suddenly realized that the palm imprint cyclone in front of him had actually stopped. Not only did the palm imprint cyclone stop, but the hurricane that trapped him also stopped. Even Zhang Baishan, who had flown over, stood motionless in midair. Everything was frozen, as if time had stopped. For a moment, Qin Feng forgot to kill Zhang Baishan. He looked at what was happening in front of him in shock. After he obtained Bai Ling's feather on God Spirit Mountain, he added it to the shackles and completely created this true weapon that was out of print in the system. A long time ago, Qin Feng knew that the shackles had a time function, but he didn't know the specific performance of the time function. Now that he completely understood it, he was instantly shocked by this top-grade true weapon that was out of print in the system. Qin Feng immediately put away the messy thoughts in his mind and took out the 100-mile light sniper again. He raised the sniper, aimed, and fired. For safety's sake, Qin Feng fired 3 shots in a row. More than 10 lightning bolts, which were as thick as a person's waist, rumbled and instantly formed a sea of lightning that exploded around Zhang Baishan. At the same time, the originally still time resumed. The hurricane that trapped Qin Feng revolved, and the palm imprint in the sky flew over. Rumble. A series of undulating explosions shook the heavens and earth. There were lightning attacks and Zhang Baishan's attacks. However, Qin Feng had already flown to a safe area, while Zhang Baishan exploded into pieces in the sea of lightning. Even the spiritual pearl that flew out was instantly destroyed. Before he died, Zhang Baishan's eyes were filled with doubt. He couldn't understand what had just happened. It was clearly his palm that wanted to destroy Qin Feng, but what was going on with the sea of lightning around him? How did Qin Feng escape the shackles of his saber, Qi Hurricane? Chapter 1825. A true Spirit Realm 6 cultivator had died, just like that. Qin Feng realized that Zhang Baishan was not an ordinary true Spirit Realm 6 cultivator. He came from a South Flat Continent and was from the 6-star sect Tai sect. His strength was enough to kill an ordinary late-stage true Spirit Realm cultivator in the North Sand Continent. It was no wonder that Qin Feng had not been able to use his divine sense to retaliate against Zhang Baishan. After Qin Feng took Zhang Baishan's storage ring, he sat down on the snowy ground. This battle had exhausted him, especially after he had used the confinement strike. He felt as if his entire body had been hollowed out. Although the confinement time function was powerful, the inner Qi needed to activate, it was even more terrifying. A true Spirit Realm 6 cultivator storage ring was extremely rich. Moreover, Zhang Baishan was from the South Flat Continent. When Qin Feng broke the divine sense seal on the storage ring and looked inside, he was shocked. The storage ring was divided into a dozen or so spaces, and each space was filled with the same type of items. Qin Feng first glanced at the spiritual herb area and discovered that there were mountains of spiritual herbs. Even though most of them were rank 4 spiritual herbs, there were a few rank 5 and even rank 6 spiritual herbs. There were many spiritual weapons and cultivation methods, and there were mountains of materials. There were also hundreds of millions of spirit stones. From this, it could be seen that the South Flat Continent cultivation resources far surpassed the North Sand Continents. Qin Feng had also obtained the storage rings of true Spirit Realm cultivators from the North Sand Continent, but compared to Zhang Baishan's wealth, it was nothing. Qin Feng took the opportunity to look at Chengyu and Wu Li Mo's storage rings. He immediately felt that their wealth was pitiful. However, Qin Feng still found some useful spiritual herbs. He moved everything from their storage rings into a star ring. Qin Feng also found a silver longsword in Wu Li Mo's storage ring. There was a name engraved on the longsword, which was the Silver Moon Sword. It was a true tier treasure sword, and it was the highest tier weapon in Wu Li Mo's storage ring. Qin Feng also found the Waning Moon Sword Technique Manual. He glanced through it and was very satisfied with it. He planned to give it to Run Xiao Yao to cultivate later. Actually, when Qin Feng saw the Waning Moon Sword Technique, he still had some doubts. The Invincible Sect was the #1 sect in the Northern Sands continent, and they mainly cultivated saber skills. Previously, Qin Feng had fought with Wu Jin in the genius competition. Wu Jin's Chi Saber Fist and Infinite Slash were both extremely powerful. However, as the great elder of the Invincible sect, Wu Liemo actually cultivated sword skills. This was simply unimaginable. Ding! Host Qin Feng has collected the Waning Moon sword skill. The system rewards Host Qin Feng 300,000 Hedonist points. Host's points total 1,429,000. The system notification rang out. This was the quest, Collect Supreme Martial Arts and Cultivation Techniques, that was previously announced. Right after the reward was announced, a new quest notification popped up. Ding! The Hedonist Sovereign System has issued a quest. Forge the out-of-print realm's fourth godly item, Heaven's Rainbow. There is no time limit for the mission. The reward is yet to be determined. As soon as shackles were completed, a new out-of-print godly item was unlocked. However, Qin Feng had already experienced the system's trickery, so he knew that it was just a name. Qin Feng entered the system and opened the out-of-print realm. There were 3 out-of-print realm godly items on each page. On the first page, the Cosmic Flying Sword, Golden Rock Sovereign Armor, and Shackles were all completed. When Qin Feng flipped to the second page, he saw the newly unlocked godly item, Heaven's Rainbow. This was a slender sword with a simple yet exquisite design. Although it was only a picture, he could feel that once Heaven's Rainbow was forged, its power would definitely shock the entire Northern Sands continent. Looking at Heaven's Rainbow's introduction, he found that it was actually an immortal grade sword. According to the rumors in the Northern Sands continent, the highest grade weapon was only a peak grade true grade weapon. However, Qin Feng had never heard of the materials needed to forge Heaven's Rainbow. A few of the main materials were marked as level 8 materials, so it was clear that it was very difficult to collect them. Qin Feng temporarily put the matter of Heaven's Rainbow to the back of his mind. Just as he exited the system, he heard a bird cry from afar. The White Spirit Divine Bird had flown back. "Master," the White Spirit Divine Bird said that Jiang Fei escaped. Little Pig's voice sounded out. Qin Feng immediately raised his eyebrows. He wasn't afraid that Jiang Fei would take revenge on him after this incident. However, this fellow knew that he had been to the White Spirit Mountain's Divine Cave. If this news was leaked, it would become a huge hidden danger sooner or later. Moreover, Jiang Fei was a cultivator from the South Plains continent. Even if Qin Feng wanted to find him, it would be troublesome. However, he remembered that he had to go to the South Plains continent to look for Hua Xianyu in a few days. At that time, he could just go to the Jiang clan to float on the water. This trip to Violet Cloud Valley was considered a success. Qin Feng rushed back to Violet Cloud City with the White Spirit Divine Bird. He planned to bring Zhang Kuku and Shaoli back to the Spirit Immortal Kingdom. After settling things there, he would immediately set off for the South Plains continent. At the same time, Jiang Fei was flying quickly on a sandy land thousands of miles away. The reason why he could escape from the White Spirit Divine Bird's pursuit was because he had a level 7 Earth escape talisman. Back then, Daoist Barefoot had also given Qin Feng a level 7 Earth escape talisman. Once this talisman was activated, he could travel thousands of miles in one go. Even a hollow God Stage powerhouse would have a hard time finding him. Jiang Fei was determined to succeed in this trip to the North Sands continent. He had roped in Zhang Baishan and Spiritual Formation Master Hu Sui from the Tai sect. The 3 of them were all in the late true spirit realm. In a place like the North Sands continent that lacked cultivation resources, few people could be their match. However, the outcome was unexpected. Jiang Fei was very depressed. Now, whenever he thought of Qin Feng, he would feel an inexplicable chill in his heart. Qin Feng was only a late Buddha-like cultivator, but he was so terrifying. Not only did he trick the 6 people to secretly change the formation and enter the White Spirit Mountain alone, he also found the Divine Cave and tamed the level 8 Spirit Divine Bird. Moreover, when he was fighting with Wooly Mo, he purposely tolerated it. His motive was to secretly learn the Waning Moon Sword technique. In an extremely short period of time, he succeeded in secretly learning it and killed Wooly Mo. Jiang Fei hurriedly shook his head and threw away his thoughts. Qin Feng was too terrifying. Even the South Flat Continent. How many cultivators of the same generation could reach his level? The White Spirit Divine Bird was too big. It was difficult to fit into the flying cloud all. Actually, the flying cloud all could be enlarged. At its maximum size, it could fit 1,000 people. However, there were many powerful cultivators in the Jiangchuan region. Qin Feng didn't want to deliberately enlarge the flying cloud all to attract attention. Fortunately, the White Spirit Divine Bird could be kept in the astral space. As long as it was a living creature in the true spirit realm, it could enter the astral space. 7 days later, the flying cloud all safely arrived at Xixia City. However, when Qin Feng came down, he realized that Xixia City had changed a lot. The streets that used to be bustling with people were now deserted. In fact, it was hard to even see a shadow in broad daylight. A trace of uneasiness rose in Qin Feng's heart. Could it be that Xixia City was under attack? It was very likely to be the doing of the Xian medical sect. However, he couldn't understand it. City Lord Ouyang was already at the peak of the true spirit realm. Could it be that he couldn't fight against the Xian medical sect? When he arrived at the Ouyang mansion, Qin Feng's worried heart calmed down a little. He saw that the level 6 defensive formation he set before leaving was still there. This meant that Zhang Kuku and Shaoli were safe. However, the Ouyang mansion's gate was tightly shut. It seemed that they had encountered some trouble. Who are you? The Ouyang mansion has been in seclusion for the past few days. We won't accept any guests. Please leave quickly. Qin Feng leaped into the Ouyang mansion. Instantly, a dozen guards rushed over. They were all at the Buddha light realm. They held weapons in their hands and surrounded Qin Feng. However, before Qin Feng could speak, a dignified voice with a hint of surprise came over. It's young hero Qiao. Quickly, invite young hero Qiao in. The guards' expressions changed greatly. They recognized the voice of City Lord Ouyang Jun. They immediately put away their weapons and respectfully invited Qin Feng into the main hall. The main hall was filled with 2 rows of cultivators. They should be the guards of the Ouyang mansion. These disciples were of different realms, ranging from the Saint King realm to the true spirit realm. It seemed that they had gathered the entire defensive force of the Ouyang mansion. Seeing this lineup, Qin Feng was even more certain that something had happened in the Ouyang mansion. He immediately asked when he didn't see Zhang Kuku and Shaoli in the main hall. City Lord Ouyang, what happened? Ouyang Jun didn't put on the airs of a city lord. He personally walked down the main hall to greet Qin Feng. Young hero Qiao, you're finally back. On the 3rd day after you left, the Xian medical sect came to the Ouyang mansion to cause trouble. The intestine-severing powder that Madame Xixia was poisoned with was indeed the work of the Xian medical sect. It turns out that they took a fancy to my Purple Cloud Valley Jade token and brazenly came to snatch it. Qin Feng had guessed it at the beginning. Now, it seemed that his guess was consistent with the truth. City Lord Ouyang, with your strength and the influence of the Ouyang mansion, would you still be afraid of the Xian medical sect? Qin Feng asked the doubt in his heart. Ouyang Jun sighed. Young hero Qiao might not know this, but our Xixia city was originally not afraid of the Xian medical sect. Who would have thought that the sect master of the Xian medical sect, Han Nangong, would have broken through to the Nihility God realm a few days ago, becoming the second Nihility God realm existence in the North Sand continent in the past 100 years. He personally attacked Xixia city, scared away all the innocent cultivators in the city, and almost attacked my Ouyang mansion. If it wasn't for young hero Qiao's level 6 defense formation in the mansion before he left, the Ouyang mansion would have been destroyed long ago. Qin Feng's expression changed. He never thought that a Nihility God realm cultivator would appear in the Xian medical sect. The spiritual energy in the North Sand continent was scarce, and cultivators who could step into the Nihility God realm were rare. In the past 100 years, there were only 2 Nihility God realm cultivators in the North Sand continent. One was Long Qianjun, who stepped into the Nihility God realm not long ago, and the other was the Xian medical sect's Han Nangong. Qin Feng couldn't help but think of the Bright Moon Tower's master of the Four-Way Tower. If it wasn't for the various forces causing trouble at the Four-Way Tower when he was breaking through, the Bright Moon Tower's master would have become the third cultivator to step into the Nihility God realm in the past 100 years. This was the ever-changing world of cultivation. There would always be some forces or individuals who would suddenly appear and set off a storm in the whole continent. Are my two friends and Madame Zixia all right? Qin Feng suddenly became worried. Not only did he ask about Zhang Kuku and Xiao Li's safety, he also brought Madame Zixia along. This subtle action made Ouyang Jun feel very comfortable. Young hero Qiao, don't worry. Since you trust me and have placed my two friends in the Ouyang mansion, as long as I, Ouyang Jun, am still breathing, I will absolutely not let them come harm. The two heroines are in the inner court with my wife, Ouyang Jun said. Chapter 1826. Knowing that Zhang Kuku and Xiao Li were fine, Qin Feng heaved a sigh of relief. His expression immediately became sharp again. He had long been dissatisfied with this Xian medical sect. Ouyang Jun continued, Young hero Qiao, it's good that you're back. Please take your two friends and leave Zixia City as soon as possible. Although Qin Feng hadn't known Ouyang Jun for long, he knew his character very well. This upright and kind-hearted city lord wouldn't drive people away for no reason. He must have some hidden trouble, and Qin Feng also guessed what he was worried about. City Lord Ouyang, is the Xian medical sect still not willing to give up? Qin Feng asked. Ouyang Jun's face was full of worry. After a moment of silence, he no longer concealed the truth. Since young hero Qiao has guessed it, I won't hide it from you. Zixia City is very unsafe now. It's best for you to leave with your two friends. Just 7 days ago, Han Nangong's doppelganger brought a group of great elders to attack Ouyang Mansion. If it wasn't for the level 6 defensive formation you arranged, Ouyang Mansion would have been destroyed. In that battle, I risked my life to injure Han Nangong's doppelganger and forced him to retreat, but I was also severely injured. With Han Nangong's vengeful nature, he will definitely not let this matter rest. By the time he recovers, I'm afraid that the Ouyang Manor will be completely destroyed. Qin Feng didn't expect the situation to develop so seriously. He felt a lingering fear. If he came a month later, the result would be very different. Qin Feng swept his divine sense and found that Ouyang Jun's breath was extremely unstable. He was indeed seriously injured. But the moment he released his divine sense, Ouyang Jun's expression changed greatly. He looked at him in surprise. Young hero Qiao, you broke through to the true spirit realm? A less than 30 years old true spirit realm cultivator was really unimaginable. There might not be a second person like him in the entire northern sand continent. The 2 rows of guard in the main hall were shocked and looked at Qin Feng. Among them, a few early true spirit realm cultivators saw through Qin Feng's cultivation, and their expressions immediately returned to normal. Ouyang Jun also realized that Qin Feng's cultivation was only at the 7 changes Buddha aura, but his expression became even more shocked. Young hero Qiao, what's going on? You're clearly in the Buddhist aura realm, but you actually have the powerful divine sense of a true spirit realm middle stage cultivator. The early stage true spirit realm cultivators, who had just calmed down, immediately felt a storm in their hearts. They knew that City Lord Ouyang never lied, but the young man in front of them actually had the divine sense of a middle stage true spirit realm expert. This kind of thing was really unbelievable. However, a few people's expressions changed greatly once again. They realized Xiao Feng's identity. Wasn't this the young hero Qiao who had become famous during the genius meet at Binji City Market Square 2 months ago? This is my sect's unique secret technique. It's not convenient for me to reveal too much. Qin Feng realized that he had been careless and quickly found an excuse. When it came to the matter of the sect not passing on their cultivation methods to outsiders, Ouyang Jun did not ask too much. City Lord Ouyang, why don't you take me to the inner courtyard to have a look? Qin Feng said. All right. Young hero Qiao, please follow me. The two of them went to the inner courtyard. Zhang Cuckoo and Xiaoli were sparring. Unfortunately, Xiaoli was no match for Zhang Cuckoo and was bullied miserably. Xiaoli was relieved when he saw Qin Feng. He threw away the wooden sword in his hand and rushed to Qin Feng. Master! Zhang Cuckoo was also very excited. She threw a punch at Qin Feng and said, Big brother Qin Feng, what do you think of Cuckoo's current strength? I feel like I have made a breakthrough again. Rumble. This last hit without hesitation. Her punch was so fierce that Yangjun jumped in fright. Fortunately, Qin Feng's reaction was fast enough to counter the punch with his palm. He did not dare to use his full strength, as he was afraid of hurting Zhang Cuckoo. When the fist and the palm collided, a deafening explosion was heard. Fortunately, Yangjun circulated his true origin energy to prevent the explosion from spreading out. Otherwise, the inner courtyard would have been razed to the ground. Qin Feng took a step back, and Zhang Cuckoo took 3 steps back. Qin Feng's eyes were filled with astonishment. One should know that he had broken through from the 3 changes of Buddha aura to the 7 changes of Buddha aura during his trip to Bailing Spirit Mountain. Now he could even kill an early-stage true spirit realm cultivator. Moreover, Zhang Cuckoo's strength was on par with his. The speed of her breakthrough was heaven-defying. However, Qin Feng knew that he had only used 60% of his strength in that attack. He believed that Zhang Cuckoo had held back a little. Qin Feng deduced that Zhang Cuckoo's current strength was comparable to the peak of Buddha light. Ordinary people would not be able to withstand her seemingly tender little fist. Xiaoli finally realized that Zhang Cuckoo had been giving in to her for the past few days. Even so, she was still badly beaten. Even Yangjun was dumbfounded. He had always thought that Zhang Cuckoo and Xiaoli were just 2 pretty faces. He did not expect Zhang Cuckoo to be so powerful. Cuckoo, your current strength is comparable to the pinnacle stage of the Buddha aura realm. You have to hold back when you attack in the future. Qin Feng realized that Zhang Cuckoo's genes might have evolved again, but it was inappropriate for him to talk about it in front of Yangjun. Yangjun was at a loss for words when he realized that Zhang Cuckoo's cultivation was at the pinnacle stage of the Buddha aura realm. Previously, when the Xian medical sect attacked the Ouyang mansion, Zhang Cuckoo had been clamoring to join the battle. At that time, Yangjun did not dare to let her join the battle. Big brother Qin Feng, after you left, those bastards from the Xian medical sect came to cause trouble. They said that they wanted to take Xiao, Li, and me away. Those bastards are so arrogant. Big brother Qin Feng, you have to help us vent our anger. Zhang Cuckoo threw herself into Qin Feng's arms and acted like a spoiled child after they exchanged a blow. Xiao Li and Yangjun were dumbfounded. As a matter of fact, Qin Feng had already revealed his true identity to Yangjun before he left the Ouyang mansion. However, he appeared in public as Qiao Feng. After all, the other disciples of the Ouyang mansion did not know that he was Qin Feng. Qin Feng had already planned to annihilate the Xian medical sect even without Zhang Cuckoo's reminder. He had killed 2 elders of the Xian medical sect, so the conflict between them could no longer be resolved. Moreover, the members of the Xian medical sect were scum in human clothing. Young hero Qiao, I think you should leave with the 2 heroines. Leave the Xian medical sect to me. Before Qin Feng could speak, Yangjun dissuaded him with a solemn expression. Now that the Xian medical sect had a revered void god realm expert, he was not optimistic that Qin Feng would be able to deal with them. Qin Feng understood Yangjun's intention, but he did have a way to deal with the Xian medical sect. However, whether it would work or not depended on Yangjun's luck. City Governor Ouyang, this bottle of medicinal pills is for you. Qin Feng took out a jade bottle. Yangjun was puzzled. He opened the jade bottle, and a rich fragrance of medicinal pills filled the inner courtyard, attracting Madame Zixia's attention. What a rich spiritual aura and medicinal pill fragrance. It's young hero Qiao. Madame Zixia was pleasantly surprised as soon as she came out. Qin Feng had saved her life more than a month ago. In her heart, Qin Feng was her savior. Chapter 1827. After seeing Qin Feng, Madame Xia forgot about the pill fragrance and spirit qi. She was not a cultivator and had little interest in those things. However, Oyangjun was stunned on the spot. When he recognized the medicinal pill inside the jade bottle, he felt like he was dreaming. Young hero Qiao. This is a bottle of void-breaking pills? Qin Feng nodded. At that moment, the entire inner courtyard fell silent. What? This is a bottle of void-breaking pills? Even Madame Xia, who had not stepped into the path of cultivation, was shocked. Although she did not cultivate, she had been with Oyangjun for a long time, so she had seen and heard about the division of cultivation realms. She had also heard about some top elixirs. She knew about the void-breaking elixir, which was the best elixir that could help a cultivator at the peak of the true spirit realm to step into the empty god realm. Husband, you've always wanted the void-breaking pill, right? Madame Xia asked with uncertainty. Oyangjun woke up from his shock and nodded his head vigorously. That's right, madam. I've been stuck at the peak of the true spirit realm for over a decade and have been unable to break through to the void god realm. I've been searching for the void-breaking pill, but this grade 7 rank 5 king pill is extremely precious. I haven't been able to find it, even after searching for over a decade. Who would have thought that a bottle of void-breaking pill would appear in front of me? Oyangjun's voice was trembling. He was a peak true spirit realm expert. What kind of world had he not seen? It could be seen what kind of shock this bottle of void-breaking pills gave him. Zhang Kuku and Xiao Li quickly regained their composure. They knew Qin Feng was now a Tier 4 pill king and the only disciple of Long Qianjun, the #1 pill master in the North Sand Continent. It was not a big deal for him to possess a bottle of void-breaking pills. Qin Feng said, City Lord Ouyang, this is undoubtedly a bottle of void-breaking pills. I hope it can help you advance to the void god realm. When the time comes, you and I will join hands and destroy the Xian medical sect. Oyangjun looked at Qin Feng in disbelief. Young hero Qiao, although we have similar personalities, we haven't known each other for long. I can't accept such a precious pill. Oyangjun wanted to return the jade bottle, which surprised Qin Feng. One must know that the void-breaking pill was a level 5 Tier 7 king pill. It was extremely rare in the entire northern sand region. With Qin Feng's current pill refining skills, he couldn't even concoct such a pill. Who would have thought that Oyangjun would reject him? However, it was also because of Oyangjun's actions that Qin Feng knew that he didn't help the wrong person. Although a bottle of void-breaking pills was a relatively valuable item to Qin Feng, he knew that using this bottle of pills in exchange for Oyangjun's deep friendship was absolutely a profitable matter. City Governor Ouyang, you don't have to be so courteous with little brother. Now that we're facing a great enemy, we have to work together even more. Moreover, little brother has just stepped into the Buddhist light stage. I don't know when you'll break through to the virtual god stage. With a bottle of void advancement pills in front of him, it would be a lie if Oyangjun said he wasn't moved. Seeing that Qin Feng had already said this, he didn't act pretentiously anymore. After all, he wasn't a pretentious person. Oyangjun immediately went into seclusion and prepared to break through to the empty god realm. Qin Feng followed him into the closed-door cultivation area. Oyangjun was a little puzzled. He advised Qin Feng to wait outside because breaking through to the virtual god stage would trigger a terrifying lightning tribulation. However, Qin Feng didn't leave and even offered to help Oyangjun protect him. In the end, Oyangjun let Qin Feng stay. However, he didn't think that Qin Feng would help him protect him during the lightning tribulation. He even thought that if he really had the opportunity to break through to the virtual god stage and encountered the lightning tribulation, he would have to protect Qin Feng. The two of them were sitting in an empty room. Oyangjun had already begun to concentrate on his cultivation. The bottle of void cleaving pills was placed in his bosom, while spirit stones were piled up all around him. Moreover, a rank 4 spiritual gathering grand array was arranged in this room. It seems that Oyangjun had invited someone to arrange this array, and this was also the place where he usually went into seclusion to make breakthroughs. Qin Feng didn't disturb Oyangjun. He set up another spirit gathering array in the room. Then, he sat 10 meters away from Jun and started to cultivate. The two of them quickly entered into their respective cultivation states. It was as if they were outside of the world. They reached a realm where they didn't care about anyone else. Two huge spiritual vortexes formed in the room. One floated above Yangjuan's head, and the other rotated above Qin Feng's head. Not only did the spiritual energy from the spirit stones in the room flowed into the spirit gathering array, but the spiritual energy of the entire Zixia city was also gathering. Although the battle not long ago had caused a sharp decrease in the number of cultivators in Zixia city, the occasional cultivator on the street would be attracted by the strange phenomenon in the sky above Ouyang Manor. They would stop and watch for a moment. The disciples of Ouyang Manor were all on standby. They had already received the news that the city lord was in closed-door cultivation for a breakthrough. These days, they guarded Ouyang Manor with all their strength, not allowing anyone to disturb the city lord's breakthrough. In the blink of an eye, more than a month had passed. During this time, no one from the Xian medical sect came to Ouyang Manor to cause trouble. It seemed that Han Nangong's injuries from the previous battle weren't light. Perhaps it was because he had just broken through to the Nihility God realm and was still unstable, so he was stabilizing his realm during this time. Regardless of the situation at Xian medical sect side, at this time, a large cloud of spiritual energy condensed in the sky above Ouyang Manor. Those clouds gathered and overlapped, forming a spectacular mushroom cloud. This strange phenomenon had long attracted the attention of Zixia City's cultivators. Now, not only Zixia City, but all the sects and clans in the depths of Jianchuan were attracted by the spiritual energy cloud above Ouyang Manor. Reporting to Patriarch Wang, the spiritual energy cloud above Zixia City has expanded again today. I'm afraid this is a sign that a late-stage, true spirit cultivator is about to break through. Patriarch Lin, it seems that someone in Ouyang Manor is about to break through to the late-stage, true spirit. Should we send someone to congratulate them? Such a huge spiritual energy cloud. I'm afraid it's not as simple as breaking through to the late-stage true spirit. Could it be that Lord Ouyang is about to advance to the Nihility God realm? For a moment, the sects and clans in the Jianchuan area were in an uproar. Every day, the topic of conversation during their leisure time was about the spiritual energy cloud above Zixia City. Because Ouyang Jun was usually a straightforward and upright person, when many people realized that he might be advancing to the Nihility God realm, they all sent people to Zixia City to congratulate him. However, there were also many forces that secretly cursed Ouyang Jun to fail in his breakthrough. Because no one wanted other forces to become stronger, that would mean that their own forces would become weaker. And the force that wanted Ouyang Jun to advance to the Nihility God realm the most was none other than Xian medical sect. However, when Xian medical sect received the news, another new situation occurred. The spiritual energy cloud above Zixia City suddenly exploded, triggering a shocking lightning tribulation. The entire Zixia City was enveloped in a sea of lightning, and foreign cultivators couldn't even approach. At this time, Qin Feng and Ouyang Jun were in the center of the sea of lightning. When the lightning tribulation triggered by breaking through to the Nihility God realm descended, Qin Feng was shocked and depressed. He didn't expect that the lightning tribulation triggered by Nihility God realm cultivator would be so powerful. It was actually not weaker than the 9 changes true lightning he triggered. At the same time, he felt that he was really suffering. He was in the Buddhist aura realm, but the lightning tribulation he triggered was comparable to the lightning tribulation of a Nihility God realm cultivator. But now is not the time to complain. When the first lightning tribulation fell, the roof instantly collapsed, and even the walls around them fell to the ground. Qin Feng and Ouyang Jun were immediately exposed to the sky. The courtyard was filled with Ouyang Manor disciples. They stared at each other, completely dumbfounded by the ferocious lightning tribulation. Everyone, don't come in. Retreat outside the sea of lightning and wait. Ouyang Jun shouted as he slapped the air. His voice spread throughout the entire Xixia city. When it fell into the cultivators' ears, it was as clear as if Ouyang Jun was speaking right next to their ears. After he slapped the air, a huge palm energy formed above his head. The remaining lightning tribulation was blocked in midair and unexpectedly disappeared along with the palm energy. Young hero Qiao, leave quickly. The Nihility God Realm lightning tribulation is too powerful. I'm not sure if I can withstand it. Ouyang Jun shouted anxiously. Qin Fen was stunned. He was shocked by the power of Ouyang Jun's palm energy. But he quickly calmed down. Although this Nihility God Realm lightning tribulation was powerful, it was still within his acceptable range. City Lord Ouyang, I'm afraid you can't withstand the Nihility God Realm lightning tribulation alone. Let me help you. As Qin Fen spoke, he waved his hands. Countless array flags flew out from his hands. Not only did he cultivate for the past month, he also took the time to create hundreds of lightning storage arrays. But Ouyang Jun didn't know what Qin Fen was doing. Even if Ouyang Jun knew about the lightning storage arrays, he didn't have the time to study Qin Fen's array at this critical moment. This Nihility God Realm lightning tribulation was much stronger than he had imagined. Ouyang Jun felt that he couldn't withstand the first lightning tribulation. Young hero Qiao, leave quickly. Now is not the time to be impulsive. The Nihility God Realm lightning tribulation is not something you can withstand. If you stay, you will only die. Ouyang Jun was so anxious that he broke out in cold sweat. He was happy that the void-breaking pill allowed him to break through. But he was also worried that he would die in this lightning tribulation. Ouyang Jun couldn't even protect himself. How could he protect Qin Fen? Seeing Qin Fen still sitting in the sea of lightning, Ouyang Jun wanted to stop breaking through and pull Qin Fen away. Young hero Qiao, if you don't leave now, it will be too late. City Lord Ouyang, just focus on breaking through. Don't worry about me. Qin Fen and Ouyang Jun were very anxious. Qin Fen was in a hurry to set up the array. He was afraid that the Nihility God Realm lightning tribulation would be too strong. Now that he had set up the lightning storage array, the two of them would have a higher chance of survival. Ouyang Jun didn't know about this and was anxious to let Qin Fen leave. If he had seen Qin Fen's previous lightning tribulations, he wouldn't have such thoughts. Crackle. A muffled sound. Numerous waist-thick lightning bolts pierced through the sky. When the second and third lightning bolts descended, the entire Xixia city shook as if there was an earthquake. The big sects and clans in the depths of the river plain also felt the slight tremors under their feet. At this moment, more than half of the cultivators in the river plain stared at the strange phenomenon in the sky. Is this really the heaven tribulation of a late-stage, true spirit realm expert? A sea of lightning. This isn't the heaven tribulation of a true spirit realm expert. This is the Nihility God Realm lightning tribulation. Do you still remember the celestial phenomenon that Long Qianjun and Han Angong experienced? It's exactly the same as the sea of lightning in front of us. It must be City Lord Ouyang Jun. What's going on in the North San region recently? In the past, it would be hard for anyone to step into the Nihility God Realm in 100 years. In less than 10 years, there are actually 4 people trying to break through, and 2 of them have already succeeded. Chapter 1828. When the Nihility God Thunder Tribulation exploded in the sky above Xixia City, the Xian medical sect was also in an uproar. Inside the private main hall of Hanangong, almost no one dares to enter on ordinary days. At this moment, there are more than 10 cultivators standing in the main hall. All of them are the elders of Xian medical sect. Random Dreams. Lord Sect Leader, a disciple, just reported that the Void God Realm lightning tribulation appeared above Xixia City. Now, all the sects and forces in Jiangchuan are spreading the news that Ouyang Jun is breaking through to the Void God Realm. Head Han, our Xian medical sect, and Xixia City have already reached the point of irreconcilable enmity. How can we let Ouyang Jun break through successfully? Head, please give the order to attack Xixia City. Is it really the heavenly tribulation triggered by Yangjun breaking through to the virtual god realm? Why don't I feel like it? Although Yangjun has been in the ninth true spirit realm for 10 years, he was heavily injured by the sect leader not long ago. How would he break through to the hollow god realm at this time? The hall was in a mess, and the elders were discussing. A gray-haired old man stands above the hall. His gray robe flutters even though there's no wind. The aura on his body is faintly discernible, yet strong like the sea, making people unable to grasp his realm. He is the sect master of the Xian medical sect, Han Nangong. Listening to the discussion of his disciples, Han Nangong's complexion gradually turns gloomy and cold. More than a month ago, he sent out a doppelganger to lead the disciples of Xian medical sect to attack Ouyang Manor. Unexpectedly, he returned injured in the end. Although Ouyang Manor had more casualties, this was still a humiliating battle for Han Nangong. He was an Nihility God realm expert, but he actually suffered a loss in the hands of a true spirit realm cultivator. However, Han Nangong is very clear that the reason why Ouyang Manor wasn't destroyed in that battle was mainly because of the 6th level Great Defensive Array in Ouyang Manor. Even now, Han Nangong still can't understand where Yangjun got his hands on a 6th level Great Defensive Array. Even their Xian medical sect can't get their hands on this kind of Grandmaster Array. Han Nangong was no longer in the mood to guess where the Class 6 defensive array came from. Although he looked calm on the surface, his heart was in turmoil. That Yangjun was actually able to break through to the Nihility God realm after being severely injured by him. He always felt a sense of unease in his heart. There seemed to be a hidden expert in the Ouyang Manor. But if there really was an unworldly expert helping the Ouyang Manor, why did they have to swallow their anger until now? They could totally kill their way to the Xian Medical School. Han Nangong still couldn't figure it out. He shook his head and tossed aside these messy thoughts. His gaze pierced through the door and landed on the lightning sea phenomenon in the direction of Zixia City. Gather all the cultivators of the Buddha Light Realm and above and attack the Ouyang Manor. Han Nangong finally made his decision. No matter what, he would not let Yangjun step into the hollow god realm. Whoosh. Thunder rumbled above his head again, and the 4th, 5th, and 6th lightning bolts flashed at the same time. Yangjun raised his head and stared at the sky. He was stunned by the aura of the raging sea of lightning. He had used his own cultivation to withstand the first 3 bolts of tribulation lightning. At this moment, the spirit armor on his body was broken, and his clothes were torn to shreds, revealing his badly mutilated skin. Qin Feng watched helplessly. He wanted to use the thunder storage array to help Yangjun deal with the tribulation. However, before he could activate the thunder storage array, Yangjun had already rushed into the sea of lightning as if to save him. Young hero Qiao, hurry up and leave. This is not a joke. Seeing the sky full of lightning condensed into spider webs, Yangjun's expression became anxious. Qin Feng didn't say anything. Yangjun wouldn't believe him anyway. He waved his hand, and hundreds of array flags flew out. Those array flags were scattered everywhere. They seemed to be disorderly, but they activated the 20 thunder storage arrays, emitting a faint white light. Yangjun was stunned, forgetting about the falling sea of lightning above his head. Huh? Young hero Qiao, when did you arrange so many arrays? What kind of array is this? Qin Feng said while guiding the lightning. The thunder storage array can help Lord Ouyang avoid the lightning tribulation. Yangjun was shocked. This was the first time he heard of this method of avoiding tribulation, but he quickly understood why he had never seen other cultivators avoid tribulation like this. The main function of the thunder storage array was to store the lightning source, and the cultivators of the Divine Continent would only trigger the lightning tribulation after they stepped into the true spirit realm. The lightning tribulation was a terrifying tribulation. Even the 2nd and 3rd level thunder storage arrays were useless against it, as the arrays would be instantly destroyed by the fierce lightning. But Qin Feng was arranging a 4th level thunder storage array. How many people in the northern sand continent could arrange a 4th level array? Very few cultivators could deal with the lightning tribulation like Qin Feng. At the same time, Yangjun realized that Qin Feng was a fourth-level array master. It seemed that the news from the Genius Conference in Binji City Market was true. This young man in front of him was not even 30 years old, but he was a king of pills and an array master, and his martial cultivation realm was almost invincible among his peers. Yangjun shook his head and sighed. He used to think of himself as a genius cultivator, but standing in front of Qin Feng, he felt that his talent was extremely stupid. Rumble. While Yangjun was in a daze, the lightning tribulation above his head suddenly fell, like a sea of stars falling from the sky, bringing with it an aura that could destroy the earth. Yangjun immediately woke up. He didn't even have the intention to resist, as he felt an unprecedented aura of death surrounding him. The next moment, he thought of Qin Feng and felt extremely guilty. It seemed that he had not only failed to deal with the tribulation, but also killed Qin Feng. Array rise. However, he heard Qin Feng shout. Following his shout, the 20 lightning storage arrays on the ground were immediately activated. The lightning that was about to fall suddenly changed direction and exploded within the lightning storage array. This was the first time Yangjun had seen the lightning storage array, and it was also the first time he had seen such a strange scene. The power of the sea of lightning that filled the sky hadn't dissipated, as if it was within reach. However, the power of the lightning was trapped within the lightning storage array and couldn't harm him or Qin Feng at all. After an unknown amount of time, the sky gradually calmed down, but the thunder clouds didn't dissipate. It seemed that breaking through to the Hollow God realm also triggered the 9-9 lightning tribulation. The 20 lightning arrays didn't completely stabilize the 3 lightning tribulations in the middle. Qin Feng activated another 30 lightning arrays to stabilize the sea of lightning. When Yangjun saw the crisscrossing lightning in the 50 arrays, he was shocked. He couldn't help but have a terrifying thought. If these lightning tribulations were to explode on a Hollow God Realm powerhouse, would that Hollow God Realm powerhouse be able to withstand it? Just as he had this thought, he saw Qin Feng take out a strange object. That object was thrown into the lightning array, and the ferocious lightning source actually disappeared, as if it was sucked away by that object. This strange scene continued for 50 times, but time flew by. When the energy slot absorbed all the lightning source in the 50 arrays, it was only the time for a joss stick to burn. Young hero Qiao, what is that? Yangjun was dumbfounded. He was a peak true spirit expert and could be considered one of the most knowledgeable cultivators in the northern Sand Continent. However, he couldn't tell what treasure Qin Feng had taken out. Qin Feng looked at the energy line of the energy slot. It was already in the middle position. Only then did he put away the energy slot and said, "City Lord Ouyang, you just need to focus on breaking through. I can help you deal with the lightning tribulation that you trigger." Qin Feng had said this before, but Yangjun didn't take it to heart. Now that he saw the lightning array and the strange treasure that could absorb lightning source, Yangjun was completely at ease. Seeing that Qin Feng didn't explain the treasure, Yangjun didn't ask anymore. Even if he was stupid, he could see that it was definitely a peerless treasure. When the 6th lightning tribulation completely fell, the sects in Jiangchuan area could confirm one fact. The person who broke through in Zixia City was definitely City Lord Yangjun. He was trying to break through to the Nihility God Realm, because only Nihility God Realm cultivators could trigger the 9-9 lightning tribulation. At this time, the people of Xian Medical Sect arrived at Zixia City. However, besides Han Nangong and a few great elders, the rest of the disciples didn't dare to step into Zixia City, because the whole city was shrouded in a terrifying sea of lightning. Is everyone here? Han Nangong did not summon his avatar this time, but his real body. His body was surrounded by an aura that seemed to be both light and mist. That aura enveloped the 3 great elders, and when the remaining might of the sea of lightning exploded, it only formed ripples on the air barrier. It was unable to harm the 4 of them. Junior brother Han Shun hasn't returned yet. One of the great elders said. Han Nangong's face turned cold. What's wrong with that kid? Didn't he send a flying sword message? He did, but there was no response. The great elder's voice trembled. Han Nangong was furious. A bunch of trash. You can't find him at a critical time. What's the use of keeping you here? If he doesn't come back today, then don't enter Xian medical sect in the future. Seeing that the sect master was angry, the three great elders were so scared that they didn't dare to speak. They didn't know that Han Shun had secretly gone to Zixia Mountain Valley, and that Xian medical sect had always wanted to get the Zixia Jade tablet. For this, they even set up a big plan to frame Madame Zixia, but in the end, it was seen through. Han Nangong stared at the direction of Ouyang Manor for a moment. Then his figure flashed and disappeared, but his cold voice spread over the whole Zixia city. People of Ouyang Manor, listen up. This old man is the sect master of Xian medical sect, Han Nangong. Today, I personally led a team to kill Ouyang Jun. If you don't want to die, then immediately scram. After the time it takes for half an incense stick to burn, my Xian medical sect will kill our way in, and at that time, not a single one will be left. His voice was faintly discernible, but it was extremely penetrating, as if he was speaking in everyone's ears. The expressions of the disciples guarding Ouyang Manor greatly changed. These days, they couldn't eat or sleep well because they were worried that Han Nangong would come again to kill them. Unexpectedly, the other party still came, and at the critical moment when Lord Ouyang was breaking through to the Nihility God realm. What should we do? The other party is a Nihility God realm divinity. All of us together won't be able to withstand the power of his palm. So what if he's a Nihility God realm divinity? At worst, we'll just die. If it wasn't for Lord Ouyang saving me from a wild leopard in the wilderness, how could I live until today? Madame Zixia, 2 heroines, you go first, we'll cover you. It would be a lie if the disciples of Ouyang Manor said they weren't afraid, but they quickly mustered up their morale and prepared to fight to the death. There are also a few disciples who wanted to escape, but in the current situation, how could they dare to leave? Let's not talk about losing face. They're afraid that if they really wanted to escape, the other disciples wouldn't agree. Chapter 1829. The time it takes to burn half an incense stick seemed to pass in the blink of an eye, and the entire Ouyang mansion fell into a tense atmosphere. There were still a few disciples who took advantage of the chaos to escape. In fact, some people noticed them when they left, but no one stopped them. In the huge inner courtyard, there were still hundreds of disciples left, but these disciples' cultivations were uneven. Most of them were Saint King realm, and there were even a few Immortal Chi realm cultivators. As for Buddha Light realm cultivators and above, there were less than 20, and only 3 of them were true Spirit realm cultivators. With such a lineup, not to mention the sect master of the Xian medical sect, Han Nangong, even if the 4 great elders led the team, they would still be able to break through. For a moment, the crowd instinctively looked up at the sky, where there was a hidden rank 6 defensive array. If not for the existence of this array, the Ouyang mansion would have been destroyed last time. The time has come. The ants who are still in the Ouyang mansion wait for death. Han Nangong's voice came from the sky again. Just this roar alone shocked many Saint King realm cultivators to the ground and made them vomit, and several Immortal Chi realm cultivators were directly shocked to death. The courtyard suddenly became a mess. When the Xian medical sect really launched an attack, the morale of the disciples that had just been boosted disappeared. A huge palm appeared out of thin air, covering the entire sky above the Ouyang mansion. The crowd instinctively retreated in fear. This was the palm of a venerable void God realm powerhouse. Perhaps it could instantly destroy the entire Ouyang mansion. Rumble. A loud sound exploded above their heads, but they saw a white wall blocking the void. The palm was intercepted by the wall, and after a series of collisions, the palm actually disappeared. The rank 6 defensive array is still there, we're fine. Many disciples shouted in surprise, feeling like they had escaped from death. However, his excitement didn't last long. Suddenly, countless palm prints fell from the sky, layer upon layer like dark clouds, and even shrouded the Ouyang mansion in darkness. Rumble. As the palm prints collided again and again, the sky above their heads was deafening, almost suppressing the movement brought by the lightning tribulation. Under this kind of violent collision, the rank 6 defensive array began to shake, and cracks appeared on the periphery of the array. The cracks continued to spread, eventually covering the entire void like a huge skynet. Oomph. A mere rank 6 defensive array wants to stop this old man. Break for me. Rumble. Following Han Nangong's roar, the void suddenly burst apart as his surging sea of energy fell to the ground. It was as though a magnitude 10 earthquake had occurred and all the buildings within Ouyang Mansion's inner courtyard collapsed. Many cultivators failed to dodge in time and were crushed to death within the rubble. The explosions continued. It turned out that the 6th grade defensive formation had been completely destroyed. Numerous black figures fell into the inner courtyard, and the surroundings were filled with dense killing intent. In the time it took to break the formation, the Ouyang Manor's cultivators had already suffered heavy casualties. Those who were still alive were all cultivators at the Buddhist light stage and above. Without the level 6 defensive array, I want to see where you ant can hide. Why are you wasting your breath on them? Let's kill them. Sect leader, we can kill these ants at any time. Let's stop Ouyang Jun from breaking through to the empty god realm first. Several old voices resounded. It was the great elders of Xian medical sect shouting. A shadow floated high in the sky. It was unknown if it was Han Nangong's clone or real body. He didn't care about the disciples in the courtyard at all. His eyes were staring at the sky, not far away. There were 3 lightning tribulations descending there. In this way, the 9 lightning tribulations had actually been triggered. That damned Ouyang Jun actually wants to break through to the empty god realm? Who was helping him? Han Nangong was very puzzled. He absolutely didn't believe that Ouyang Jun could step into the empty god realm with his own ability. That guy was seriously injured a month ago. It was already very difficult for him to recover from his injuries. Han Nangong didn't directly rush into the Thundersea area. He was waiting for that expert to appear. However, after waiting for a while, he didn't see any movement. It was as if his guess was just overthinking. Swish! Another few black figures fell into the courtyard. They were the 8 little elders of Xian medical sect. These little elders were generally at the late Buddhist light stage. They didn't have the great elder and Han Nangong's sect leader. The 4 of them thought that their status was too high and disdained to make a move against the disciples in the courtyard. However, as soon as these 8 little elders landed, they launched a fierce killing move. Rumble. As soon as the 8 of them attacked, a loud noise echoed in the courtyard. The 4 cultivators at the early Buddhist light stage didn't even have time to react. The 3 great elders in Ouyang Manor had already regained their senses. They were the only 3 venerables in true spirit realm. However, facing the other 3 true spirit elders and the empty god realm sect leader, they didn't dare to make a move. Blood-curdling screams resounded. The 3 true spirit elders didn't dare to make a move. The rest of the people weren't a match for the 8 little elders of Xian medical sect. For a moment, the 8 of them went on a killing spree, as if they had entered a deserted area. But just as they were killing to their heart's content, a beautiful figure joined the battlefield. The figure was extremely fast. When she arrived in front of one of the little elders couldn't even react. Bang! Zhang Kuku's small pink fist had already landed on the little elder's chest. The punch was too fast. Many people didn't see it clearly. However, when the fist landed, a loud noise was heard. The little elder's fate was even more tragic. His heart was smashed by Zhang Kuku's small pink fist, and he spat it out. Then, blood flowed from his 7 orifices. A loud noise came from his dantian, and his body exploded like fireworks. Swoosh! Zhang Kuku's second punch landed. She seemed to have followed Qin Feng for a long time. She had mastered the art of killing without batting an eye. After killing the little elder with 1 punch, she didn't even spare a glance at the little elder. Bang! Bang! There were a total of 3 consecutive punches, and these 3 punches seemed to be launched at the same time, blowing up the 3 little elders standing nearby. The 2 groups of people were shocked when their bodies exploded. No one expected that someone from Ouyang Manor would dare to fight back. Moreover, the one who attacked them was a fierce female cultivator. Killing 3 Buddha Light intermediate stage cultivators with 3 punches was a strength that couldn't be underestimated. It even blinded everyone's eyes. However, Zhang Kuku didn't show any signs of pride. She stomped her feet on the ground and shattered the tiles. In the next second, she dashed toward one of the great elders of Xian medical sect. You bastards! Kuku wanted to teach you a lesson last time. This time, I'll teach you a lesson. Rumble. The great elder only regained his senses when Zhang Kuku's fist was about to hit him. He hurriedly threw out a punch and collided with Zhang Kuku's fist in the air. A deafening sound echoed in the air. The collision produced a strong airflow that rolled up the rubble on the ground and formed a tornado. Puffed. Zhang Kuku's body was sent flying backward. She spat out a mouthful of blood in midair. The great elder of Xian medical sect retreated a dozen steps before he could regain his balance. His face turned pale, and he forcefully swallowed the blood and qi that surged up his body. The courtyard suddenly fell into silence. Only the sound of explosions could be heard from time to time. The 3 great elders of Xian medical sect stared at Zhang Kuku with their eyes wide open. Although the great elder she fought had the lowest cultivation base among the 3 great elders, he was still a venerable one who had stepped into true spirit level 2. Zhang Kuku's body emitted no aura and was no different from an ordinary person who didn't cultivate. Her punch seemed to be launched with brute force, yet she was able to repel a true spirit level 2 cultivator. You're a special female cultivator. I'll spare your life for now. I'll bring you back to the sect for research. Even Han Nangong was shocked by Zhang Kuku's strength. He wasn't surprised by her strength, but he couldn't see through her cultivation method. The great elder who was repelled was filled with anger. He was about to kill Zhang Kuku, but when he heard the sect leader say that he would spare her life, he could only swallow his anger. At this moment, the disciples of Ouyang Mansion finally regained their senses. They immediately surrounded Zhang Kuku in a formation to protect her. Kuku, you scared me to death. How am I going to explain it to Master if something happened to you? Xiaoli hugged Zhang Kuku in his arms as tears rolled down his cheeks. Madame Zixia was also present. She was scared and surprised by Zhang Kuku's cultivation base. Both she and Zhang Kuku were women who couldn't cultivate, yet Zhang Kuku was so powerful. It was really shameful. The fierce battle came to a temporary halt, and Xiao Li looked around. The number of disciples still alive in the Ouyang Manor was pitifully few. There were less than 20 people left. Han Nangong looked at Zhang Kuku a few more times, but he couldn't see through her secret. Hence, he shifted his gaze and looked at the sky above the sea of lightning. At this moment, all 9 lightning bolts had struck and the thunderclouds in the sky were dispersing. Han Nangong knew something was wrong. This was the sign that Ouyang Mansion was about to advance to the Nihility God Realm. The reason why Xian Medical Sect was able to suppress Ouyang Mansion was that he had advanced to the Nihility God Realm, while Ouyang Jun had not. However, if Ouyang Jun advanced to the Nihility God Realm, the result would be unpredictable. How naive of you to think that you can advance to the Nihility God Realm in front of me. Han Nangong no longer cared about the Ouyang Manor disciples and flew towards the Sea of Lightning. While he was in midair, he struck out with his palm. Immediately, half of the sky condensed into a huge palm print. It brought with it an aura that seemed to be able to destroy the heavens and extinguish the earth. It's over. Ouyang Mansion is finished. Master, were you guys shouting for? Big Brother Qin will be fine. The Ouyang Manor's disciples were in complete despair. Only Zhang Kuku's large, watery eyes flickered with a trace of hope. She had followed Qin Feng for a long time and had escaped from the jaws of death many times. She believed that Qin Feng wouldn't disappoint them this time. Crackle! Just as she was looking at the distant sky expectantly, There was a loud bang, followed by several flashes of white light. It was actually more than a dozen crisscrossing lightning bolts, each as thick as a person's waist, and the lightning bolts were like arrows, shooting towards the palm print in the void. The impact of the collision was indescribable. Even the Buddha's light cultivators felt dizzy. Their minds went blank for a moment, and they forgot where they were. When they opened their eyes again, they saw that the palm imprint in the void was gradually dissipating, and the lightning was nowhere to be seen. What they heard was a strange cry from Han Nangong. How could this be? Chapter 1830. For a moment, Han Nangong became nervous. He began to suspect that there was a venerable immortal hidden in the Ouyang Manor. But since there was an expert overseeing the manor, why did he only appear at the critical moment of life and death? Even Han Nangong was shocked. The hearts of the elders of the Xian Yi sect were even more shocked. Everyone looked at the sky in confusion. Suddenly, there was a loud sound, and several bolts of lightning fell. This is the void god lightning tribulation. Why is the void god lightning tribulation striking at us? Does Ouyang Jun have a treasure to control the lightning tribulation? These bolts of lightning are too terrifying. Secmaster Han, what should we do now? The group of elders was in a complete mess. They were certain that the lightning that flew in the void was the thunder tribulation that Ouyang Jun had triggered when he broke through not long ago. Although they could not figure out how this thunder tribulation was triggered, they were very clear that once struck by the lightning, even an early-stage, true spirit realm cultivator would be seriously injured. As for those in the Buddha light realm, they would most likely be instantly killed by the lightning. Seeing that Han Nangong still didn't make a move, the few elders couldn't wait to turn around and run. But at this moment, Han Nangong leaped into the sky and casually sent out a few huge palm prints, intercepting the second wave of lightning. Which venerable immortal is here? Junior Han Nangong, please meet me. The crowd was shocked. Han Nangong, a void god realm expert, actually called himself a junior. But soon, the crowd woke up. After Han Nangong's reminder, they all realized that there was an expert overseeing the Ouyang Manor. Otherwise, with Ouyang Jun's strength, how could he launch such a fierce lightning strike? As Han Nangong's question fell, the inner court suddenly quieted down. After a moment, a clear laughter sounded. Ha ha, it's good that you know you're a junior. You dare to cause trouble in the Ouyang Manor. Quickly kneel and kowtow. Xiao Li and Zhang Kuku became excited when they heard the voice. They knew it was Qin Feng's voice. The elders of the Xianese sect were dumbfounded. Han Nangong's expression became cold. That voice sounded like it was only 20 or 30 years old. However, Han Nangong didn't explode immediately. He knew that in the North Sand region, there were alchemical pills that could improve one's voice. It could allow an old person's voice to revert back to their youthful state. There were also alchemical pills that could change one's appearance. Not long ago, at the Benji City Square's Genius Meet, someone had concocted the infant countenance pill. Although Han Nangong hadn't seen it with his own eyes, he had heard that the alchemical pill could allow one to revert to their youthful state. Senior, please show yourself first. If this junior is truly in the wrong, it's not impossible for me to apologize. Han Nangong temporarily lowered his stance. If the Ouyang Manor really had a reclusive, immortal venerable keeping watch, then the Xian physician sect would be in big trouble. Even if Han Nangong had stepped into the Nihility God realm not long ago, he wouldn't be so arrogant as to go against that group of old monsters. It should be known that the true powerful cultivators of the Northern Sand region were those reclusive, immortal venerables, such as Taoist Master Dong Xian, Immeasurable Immortal Venerable, and Taoist Master Barefoot. These fellows rarely appeared, and all of them were elusive existences. Rumor had it that they had long entered the virtual god realm, and their only goal was to pursue a higher heavenly Tao. Han Nangong had doubts in his heart. These immortal venerables who did not enter the world had never asked about the matters of the mortal world. Why would this old monster in front of him, who guarded the Ouyang Manor, meddle in other people's business. Since you want to see me, then I'll satisfy your curiosity. That clear voice sounded again, and a golden light cut through the void. Unknowingly, a delicate and refined youth stood in front of Zhang, Cuckoo, and the others. Who are you? When Han Nan Gong saw Qin Feng, his body that was originally floating in the void fell back to the ground. His face was filled with doubt. He had clearly never seen Qin Feng's unfamiliar face before. I've lived for too long, and even I have forgotten my own name. An ant-like power like the Xian physician sect dares to cause trouble in the Ouyang Manor? I think you're all tired of living. Qin Feng's appearance made the Ouyang Manor's disciples let out a sigh of relief. They knew that City Lord Ouyang had definitely succeeded in breaking through. Many of the disciples laughed. Qin Feng's words were clearly just to fool Han Nan Gong. However, Han Nan Gong did not know. While he was angry, he was also worried and afraid. When the other Ouyang Manor disciples stood in front of him, they would show a nervous expression. However, Qin Feng stood less than 20 meters away from him, and his expression was as calm as usual. I wonder what is the relationship between the Celestial Sovereign and Ouyang Jun. Why are you meddling in other people's business? Han Nan Gong was already somewhat convinced. He could smell that the other party was not simple from Qin Feng's indifferent expression. Although he could see that Qin Feng only had the aura of a Buddha Light Realm cultivator, he knew that those celestial sovereigns loved to pretend to be weak. If there was an ignorant person who offended them, they would not even know how they died. How dare you? Is it your turn to ask about my business? Who do you think you are? Qin Feng suddenly roared, scaring Han Nan Gong into taking 2 steps back. Although he was extremely sullen and dissatisfied, he subconsciously began to apologize. Please calm down, Celestial Sovereign. This junior did not mean to offend the Celestial Sovereign. It's just that my Xian physician sect and the Ouyang Manor have formed a life and death grudge. If the Celestial Sovereign is just passing by, I hope you can give this junior some face and not interfere in this matter. A Nihility God Realm expert was now as subservient as a child, shocking everyone. Qin Feng almost couldn't hold back his laughter. He continued to say with a cold face, City Lord Ouyang and I are friends of life and death. If you dare to find trouble with the Ouyang Manor, then you're finding trouble with me. It seems that if I don't make a move, you won't know how powerful I am. Before he finished speaking, Han Nan Gong jumped in fright. At the same time he was cursing Qin Feng in his heart. He also realized that this time, they were unable to destroy the Ouyang Manor. Not to mention destroying the Ouyang Manor, even the Xian physician sect might not be able to protect themselves. But before Han Nan Gong could make a response, a strange cry came from the Xian physician sect's small group of elders. Sect Master Han, I keep feeling that this brat is very familiar. He's the cultivator who won the Genius Assembly held in Binji Market. Elder Hanzi said so. I also recognized him. This brat is definitely Qiao Feng, no doubt about it. When Qin Feng's identity was exposed, the air in the inner court instantly froze. The fawning smile on Han Nan Gong's face suddenly froze. His body emitted a strong aura of death, and he suddenly slapped out with a palm. He was still standing in place, but a huge palm print had already floated in front of Qin Feng. You reckless junior! I'll kill you. A Nihility God Realm expert was taken liberties with by a Buddhist light cultivator. This humiliation was even more unbearable than killing Han Nan Gong. At this moment, his heart ignited with boundless killing intent. Not only did he want to kill Qin Feng, he also wanted to annihilate everyone in the Ouyang Manor. Otherwise, once this news got out, how could he show his face in the Northern Sand region in the future? Chapter 1831. Rumble. That palm came too abruptly and extremely fast. Only when an earth-shattering explosion resounded in the void did the crowd regain their senses. But they saw Qin Feng standing in the same place without any change in his expression. That huge palm didn't land on him and was dispersed by another powerful aura. Han Nan Gong, today will be the day you die. An ethereal voice came from the exploding clouds. No one knew when, but Jun appeared in the void. His body was surrounded by an aura that seemed to be both light and fog. It seemed to be a clone of him, and this already meant that he had successfully stepped into the Nihility God realm. When he realized that he was tricked by Qin Feng and Jun, Han Nangong angrily shouted, "You treacherous guy, pretending to be a reclusive immortal lord to help Jun gain time to break through. Aren't you afraid that the real immortal lords will come to kill you if the news gets out?" Being chased by all the immortal lords in the North Sand region? Just hearing about this kind of thing gave people goosebumps. But Qin Feng didn't care at all and said indifferently, "You don't have to scare me. I'm not that easily scared. Besides, when did I say that I was a reclusive immortal lord? You've always thought so. I'm too lazy to explain it to you. As for deliberately delaying the breakthrough time, you're thinking too much. You're just a cultivator who just stepped into the Nihility God realm. I have many ways to kill you." Qin Feng's words were so arrogant that even the disciples of Ouyang Manor had doubts in their hearts. However, what he said was the truth. Although it was difficult for him to kill a Nihility God with his own cultivation, he had brought back the divine white spirit bird from White Spirit Mountain this time. If it wasn't for the fear that releasing the divine bird would attract the attention of some cultivators, Qin Feng would have already gone to exterminate the Xian medical sect by himself. Even if he didn't let the white spirit bird fight, Qin Feng could use the energy stored in the energy tank to bombard the Xian medical sect. Even if he couldn't kill Han Nangong, he could seriously injure him and destroy the entire base of the Xian medical sect. But after some thought, Qin Feng also rejected this plan. It really wasn't worth it to waste the energy in the energy tank for a treacherous sect like the Xian medical sect. Luckily, Jun successfully stepped into the Nihility God realm. Now, it would be much easier to deal with the Xian medical sect. Humph! One arrogant fellow. I admit that Jun has advanced to the empty God realm, so it will be difficult for me to eradicate the Ouyang residents. However, if you want to kill me, that would be a fantasy. Han Nangong still did not understand the situation, and Qin Feng could not be bothered to waste his breath. He looked at Jun, who immediately understood and started to attack. The other cultivators could only watch as the two Void God Realm experts fought. It felt like mortals watching immortals fight. It was a shocking scene. Fortunately, the two of them knew that their cultivation would cause terrifying damage. They flew thousands of meters away to fight, but Qin Feng and the others could still feel the ground beneath their feet shaking violently. The North Sand Continent was the place with the least amount of cultivation resources in the entire Divine Mainland. The overall standard of the cultivators was not good. Only one empty God Realm expert would appear every 100 years. Those who could step into the empty God Realm were rare existences. Therefore, after reaching this realm, the cultivators would cherish their lives very much. In other words, they would start to pursue a higher heavenly Tao and would not easily make a move. This should be a rare, empty God Realm battle in the North Sand Continent in the past 100 years. The battle had only lasted for an incense stick's time, and the entire Jiangchuan region was shocked. Muyin Peak City Lord, there's a huge, empty God Realm battle outside Zixia City. Does the city lord want to go and take a look? The disciples of Jiangxi First City were shocked. Lin Family Lord, all the forces in the Jiangchuan region have rushed to Zixia City. Rumor has it that there are two empty God Realm experts fighting there. Xinyuan Lin family was in an uproar. Although there are many sects in the Jiangchuan region, there has never been an empty God Realm expert. It was not long ago that the Xian medical sect's Han Nangong sect leader stepped into the empty God Realm. Where did this empty God Realm senior come from? This news can't be fake, right? At the base of the Hall of Famous Generals, everyone was discussing. Some people were doubtful, but many rogue cultivators had already rushed out of Zixia City. Because of the battle between the two empty gods, the Jiangchuan region was in an uproar. Also, because the battle did not spread to other regions, the entire North Sand Continent would be in a storm. But when everyone rushed out of Zixia City, they found that the battle was already over. This huge battle seemed to have ended not long ago. The battlefield was filled with smoke and ruins. On the empty field, there was only a figure lying at the bottom of the sinkhole. His body was blown to pieces and scattered everywhere. However, there were a few pieces of clothing that danced in the wind and were caught by the cultivators who came. The cultivators' expression changed. This is the Xian medical sect's clothing. Judging from the material, it should be the sect leader of Han Nangong's clothes. This speculation shocked the crowd. Everyone looked towards a sinkhole at the same time. A cultivator who had stepped into the true spirit realm suddenly exclaimed, "Although the battle is over, I can still feel the aura of the dead person in the sinkhole." It's definitely a cultivator of the Xian medical sect. Moreover, the remaining aura is extremely strong, even surpassing my cultivation. Surpassing Senior Lin's cultivation? Isn't that an empty god realm expert? Could it be that the Xian medical sect leader Han Nangong died in battle? His guess was shocking, but it was also reasonable. There were only a few empty god realm cultivators in the northern sand region. Now, one of them had died. Even if the truth was right in front of their eyes, not many people could accept it. The news of Han Nangong's death seemed to have grown wings as it instantly spread throughout the Jiangchuan region. In just a day, this news had spread like wildfire throughout the entire North Sand region. What? Han Nangong is dead? That senior who just stepped into the empty god realm not long ago? Even a godly void god died, just like that. It's really not easy for us juniors to survive until now. Who killed Han Nangong? Could it be that Xia City Lord Ouyang Jun also stepped into the empty god realm? What's wrong with the Northern Sand region recently? Genius cultivators come out in large numbers. Even empty god realm experts can enter the empty god realm. There were trillions of cultivators in the Northern Sand region. Every day, there were new hot topics. Previously, the topic revolved around Qin Fun's Spirit Blast Pill. Later, it was about the newly promoted 10 Great Chambers of Commerce, China Chamber of Commerce. Then, it was about Xiao Feng, the #1 genius of Binji City. Now, the topic changed to the empty god realm battle outside Xia City. But no one knew that no matter how many times the topic changed, it never left Qin Fun. After another 3 days, when no one from the Xian medical sect came forward to clarify the news of Han Nangong's death, everyone was convinced that the news was true. Moreover, someone spread new news that all the elders of the Xian medical sect had been killed. The remaining disciples had gone into hiding in the sect. Now, the Xian medical sect had closed its doors. It was said that it had sealed itself off from the world for 5 years. This was so familiar that many cultivators thought of the Treasure Pill Tower. Because the Treasure Pill Tower offended Foursquare Tower and Qin Fun, it ended up sealing itself off from the world for 5 years. However, no one mentioned Qin Fun during the battle between the Xian medical sect and Xia City. Even Xiao Feng's name didn't appear. This was Qin Fun's intention. He didn't want to be famous again. It was as if overnight, Xia City had regained its former prosperity. There was an endless stream of cultivators coming and going in the city. It was even livelier than before when it was at its peak. These cultivators came from far away with the same goal, to visit and congratulate Ouyang Jun. He was a void god realm expert, and because of his breakthrough, the fame of the Ouyang Manor had increased greatly, even surpassing many ancient 5-star sections. Ouyang Jun was busy receiving guests every day. He didn't even have time to stabilize his realm. Qin Fan wasn't in a hurry to leave. He planned to stay in the Ouyang Manor for a few days until the heat of the godly realm battle subsided. Now that Qin Fan had become Ouyang Manor's most important guest, the disciples would greet him respectfully wherever he went. Some cultivators who came to visit Ouyang Jun saw Qin Fan and recognized him as Xiao Feng. They would come up to him and say a few polite words to establish a good relationship. After being recognized a few times, Qin Fan simply shut himself in. When he was not cultivating, he studied the true weapon lottery scroll he got from subduing the white spirit divine bird. He also studied the hidden interface lottery scroll he got from the system when he forged a supreme grade true weapon. With a slight thought, the true weapon lottery scroll disappeared. A silver light flashed, and a long spear flew out from the system. The long spear was covered in silver light. The spearhead was sharp, and there was a silver dragon carved on the spear body. The dragon's eyes were wide open. The carving was vivid and lifelike, as if it could fly away at any time. Dragon quaking spear, high grade, true weapon. With a spear in hand, he could suppress a group of dragons. After reading the introduction of the dragon quaking spear, Qin Fun was delighted. Actually, he had been using the Rainbow Demon Storm Spear for a period of time. It was just that the Scarlet Demon Red grade spiritual weapon's power was not enough. So Qin Fun gradually switched to the true weapon grade Jun E sword and Dragon Cry sword. The Dragon Tremor spear that he had drawn was a grade higher than the Jun E sword. Qin Fun thrust it into the air, and the air in the room instantly exploded. Thousands of cold rays shot out, and it looked as if they could destroy the heavens and the earth. Fortunately, this was Ouyang Jun's closed-door training place. He had already set up a Void God Realm energy barrier. Even Qin Fun's fierce spear did not cause much change in the room. After putting the dragon quaking spear away, Qin Fun used the hidden interface scroll. He couldn't help but look forward to it. Compared to true weapons and secret skills, he felt that the system's hidden interface was more practical and powerful. Ding! Congratulations, host Qin Fun. You have used the hidden interface scroll to unlock the system's spirit insect interface. The system's notification sounded. Qin Fun frowned slightly. He wasn't too happy about this spirit insect interface. Little pig, what the hell is this spirit insect interface? Qin Fun was a bit disappointed. Little pig was so excited that it squealed. Wow. Master, your luck has been off the charts recently. The Spirit Insect interface has all the species of spirit insects on the Divine Supreme Continent. Master can buy a few and raise them for fun. Qin Fun rolled his eyes. He couldn't even raise himself now. So where would he find the time to raise insects? In the past, the hidden interface scroll was able to get the heaven-defying interface. Qin Fun became more and more disappointed with this spirit insect interface. However, Little Pig was still in high spirits. Master, don't underestimate the spirit insects on the Divine Supreme Continent. Do you know what the 1,000-year calamity was? It was the insect calamity. Chapter 1832. Qin Fun didn't know about the insect calamity, but he had heard about the beast calamity from the barefoot enlightened being. Qin Fun had always doubted the 1,000-year calamity of the Divine Supreme Continent. But when Little Pig mentioned the insect calamity, he realized that there was indeed a 1,000-year calamity on the Divine Supreme Continent. As for whether he was the one facing this calamity, Qin Fun wasn't sure. What's the insect calamity? Qin Fun's interest was piqued. Little Pig said, Master, don't think that the Divine Supreme Continent is ruled by humans. In fact, there are hundreds of millions of species living on this vast land, and humans are just one of them. These species have the potential to rule the Divine Supreme Continent. More than 1,000 years ago, the Divine Supreme Continent was almost conquered by the Beast Clan, and more than 2,000 years ago, the Divine Supreme Continent was ruled by the spirit insects. According to the historical records of the Divine Continent's development, the entire continent was once filled with spiritual insects. There were trillions of spiritual insects, and there were tens of millions of them. They were like locusts, attacking cultivators in swarms. Even a true spirit realm cultivator was instantly devoured into nothingness. The empty god realm cultivators could only run away. A group of cultivators with higher cultivation levels joined forces to resist, but they were all killed in the end. Later on, it was recorded that a divine supreme god appeared and stopped the insect calamity. Little Pig's explanation was very detailed. Qin Fun was dumbfounded. He didn't expect the spirit insects to dominate the divine supreme continent for a period of time. Those things, which were as small as a fingernail and could kill thousands of insects with a single slap, could be so ferocious. Qin Fun quickly thought of the hunting turtles, especially the tiny thing's terrifying devouring ability. If the Divine Supreme Continent spirit insects had the same ability as the hunting turtles, then it would be quite scary. Master, you're thinking too much. First of all, the hunting pincer is a level 9 star beast. It's not within the range of spiritual insects. Second, the hunting pincer doesn't belong to the divine supreme continent. The spiritual insects here can't compare to it, Little Pig said. Qianfen was relieved. If the divine supreme continent spirit insects were as terrifying as the hunting turtles, then the continent would be ruled by spirit insects sooner or later. Qianfen had a new understanding of spiritual insects after learning about them. He looked at the spiritual insect interface again and found that the divine supreme continent had many species of spiritual insects. He could flip through tens of thousands of pages, and each page had hundreds of species of spiritual insects. Every page was gray, and the pictures of the spirit insects were also dim. However, there was a picture of a spirit insect that was lit up on the first page, and it seemed to be a spirit insect that Qianfen already possessed. Seeking spirit bug rank, 1 spirit insects were born with a keen sense of smell and were adept at finding spirit origin bodies. Master, because you have unlocked the spirit insect interface, the system has rewarded you with a low-grade spirit insect. Spirit insects are divided into 9 grades, and the spirit-seeking insect is the most basic spirit insect. It only has the ability to find spirit source bodies. After Qianfen finished reading the introduction of the spirit-seeking bug, Little Pig explained it to him. Qianfen couldn't help but think of the Emerald Spirit Ring. That ring had the ability to sense spirit chi. However, because the Emerald Spirit Ring's grade was too low, its ability to sense spirit chi was limited. Ever since he came to the Divine Supreme Continent, Qianfen hadn't sensed any changes in the Emerald Spirit Ring. Now that he had the spirit-seeking insects, he could replace the function of the Emerald Spirit Ring. Qianfen checked the interface of the spirit insects again and found that the price of these spirit insects was not low. The higher the rank of the spirit insects, the more expensive they were. Qianfen didn't buy any more spiritual insects. As soon as he exited the system, he heard a new mission. Ding! Hedonist Sovereign System has issued a new mission. Arrive at the Spirit Immortal Kingdom safely. Mission time limit, 1 month. Successfully complete the mission, and you will be rewarded with 1 million Hedonist points. If the mission fails, the system will disappear. This mission came too suddenly, and the content was a little strange. The punishment was unprecedented. A bad premonition rose in Qianfen's heart. He planned to return to the Spirit Immortal Kingdom in a few days, but now it seemed that the return trip this time wouldn't be so simple. After some analysis, Qianfen had some clues. When he went to the Violet Cloud Valley, he was chased by the Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce, the Witchcraft Sect, and other forces. Moreover, those people saw through his and Xiao Feng's identity. However, they failed in the end. Qianfen coincidentally found the formation at the entrance of the Violet Cloud Valley and used the Violet Cloud Valley's Jade Plate to enter the secret zone. If that was the case, Long Outyin and the others would definitely not give up. They might have been waiting for him at the entrance. However, Qianfen immediately rejected this speculation because the entrance to the secret zone at the Violet Cloud Valley changed randomly. Qianfen quickly thought of the Void God battle not long ago. That battle had shaken the entire northern sand continent. Others might not be able to see through the deep secrets, but the Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce and the Witchcraft Sect might know that he was the one who helped Ouyang break through. After thinking about it, Qianfen was sure that the Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce, the Witchcraft Sect, and other forces wanted to kill him. Therefore, the system issued the mission arrive at the Spirit Immortal Kingdom safely in advance. However, when he saw the 1 million Hedonist points reward for completing the mission and the system's punishment for failing the mission, Qianfen felt that things were not so simple. No matter how powerful the Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce and the Witchcraft Sect were, they would not threaten the system to issue this kind of mission. Could it be that there were other, more powerful forces hiding in the dark? Qianfen couldn't think of anything at the moment. However, since the system issued a new mission, Qianfen would definitely take it seriously. He was no longer in the mood to cultivate. These days, he had been secretly investigating the movements of the soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce and other forces. When he started his investigation, he suddenly realized that his current network and forces covered almost half of the northern sand continent. Moreover, he had only been in the Divine Continent for 2 years. It was incredible that he could achieve so much today. In just 3 days, many sects and clans in the Jiangchuan region sent messages via flying swords. After reading their messages, Qin Fun's face turned solemn. This was the first time he had encountered a siege since he came to the Divine Continent. Not only the soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce and the Witchcraft Sect, the 5-star Formation Sect, the 7-star Monastery, the Northern Sand Continent's #1 sect, the Invincible Sect, the #1 Demonic Sect, the Thunderbolt Cult, the #1 City, Rivertown, the Northern Sand Continent's #3 Chamber of Commerce, the Lian Chamber of Commerce, the Proud Ocean Chamber of Commerce, the Northern Sand Continent's 4 major pill workshops, the Spirit Pill Association, the Immortal Grass Faction, and many other smaller sects and forces appeared outside Zixia City. However, they did not visit Ouyang Manor like the other forces that came to visit Oyangjun. They only stayed on the outskirts of Zixia City. From time to time, some disciples would appear to be gathering information. The strange behavior of these forces immediately caught Qin Fun's attention. He realized that these people had joined forces to ambush him. Qin Fun was not sure why these forces suddenly formed an alliance, but he guessed that the soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce and the Witchcraft Sect had leaked his and Xiao Feng's identities. After he came to the Divine Continent, he had used these 2 identities to offend countless sections. Now that his identity had been exposed, it was very likely that those sects would gather together to seek revenge. After a brief moment of nervousness, Qin Fun calmed down. He listed out the alliance's forces in detail and found that there were more than 30 forces in this alliance. However, the strength of these families and sects varied. There were only 5 or 6 that could truly threaten him. Qin Fun then singled out the most threatening sects and families: the Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce, the Witchcraft Sect, the Invincible Sect, the Thunderbolt Cult, and the 7 Stars Monastery. As for the Northern Sand Continent's Jiang City, which was represented by Jiang Fian, as well as the other forces like the Panacea Association and the Immortal Grass Sect, he did not count them as the most threatening forces. Because of this adventure in Zixia Valley, Qin Fun had broken through all the way to the 7 changes of Buddha Aura. True Spirit Realm cultivators could no longer pose a threat to him. Currently, he was still afraid of the godly void god. However, because he had tamed the white spirit divine bird, he would not be afraid if he encountered a godly void god cultivator alone. The 5 most threatening sects that he listed were the forces that might have godly void god cultivators. Needless to say, the head of the Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce, Long Hun, was a godly void god powerhouse. Although Qin Fun could not be sure if the Witchcraft Sect, the Invincible Sect, and the Thunderbolt Cult had godly void god powerhouses, Qin Fun guessed that they most likely did. As for the 7 Stars Monastery, Qin Fun knew that this sect did not have any godly void god powerhouses. The reason why it was listed as one of the 5 most threatening sects was because it was rumored that the Northern Sand Continent's #1 Formation Master was in the 7 Stars Monastery. Qin Fun knew how powerful a rank 5 Spiritual Formation Master was. After a detailed analysis, Qin Fun temporarily assumed that the 4 forces all had godly void god powerhouses. There were 4 godly void god powerhouses, a rank 5 Spiritual Formation Master from the 7 Stars Monastery, and countless True Spirit Realm and Buddha's Light Realm experts from the other forces. Looking at the results, Qin Fun was shocked. He did not expect the forces to be so ferocious. No wonder the Hedonist Sovereign System would issue a mission notification in advance and reward him with 1 million Hedonist points. At the same time, Qin Fun also understood the meaning of the system's punishment. If he failed this mission, it meant that he would die in the wilderness. At that time, the Hedonist Sovereign System would disappear. As for the True Spirit and Buddha's Light Realm cultivators, Qin Fun did not need to worry about them. However, the 4 godly void god powerhouses before him gave him a headache. He calculated the situation on his side. The white spirit divine bird was a godly void god powerhouse. Coupled with Ouyang Jun, who had just stepped in the godly void god realm, Qinfen could only kill one godly void god if he used all his trump cards. At the very most, they only had the strength of 3 godly void god powerhouses. Qinfen's mood became even more serious. He realized that this encirclement was difficult to resist, and he knew that he had to face this battle. If he kept hiding in the Ouyang Manor and waited for that group of people to run out of patience, he was afraid that they would directly attack Zixia City. At that time, he would harm the cultivators of Zixia City and Ouyang Manor. While he was worrying, Qinfen's eyes suddenly lit up. He took out a flying sword, carved a line of words on it, and activated the flying sword. This was not a sword like the Starry Sky flying sword, but a flying sword that was specially used to send messages. Moreover, this flying sword was given to Qinfen by Taoist Barefoot, so that he could use the flying sword to send messages and ask for help when he encountered trouble that he could not solve. Chapter 1833. Speaking of the barefoot enlightened master, he was one of the northern sand continent's reclusive, immortal reverends. These old monsters represented the true cultivation power of the northern sand continent. Although they were both at the nihility god stage, Qinfen believed that the barefoot enlightened master was equivalent to 10 Ouyang Juns. Ouyang Jun had just stepped into the empty god realm, but barefoot enlightened being had been in the empty god realm for hundreds of years. However, Qinfen also knew that it was difficult for secluded immortal venerables to come out of seclusion, or rather, this situation had never happened in the northern sand continent. Since they were classified as secluded immortal venerables, it meant that they would live in seclusion in the mountains and only focus on cultivation. To his surprise, Qinfen received a flying sword reply from barefoot enlightened being 3 days later. The letter indicated that he was willing to help Qinfen, not for any other reason, but because Qinfen was one of the tribulation takers. Qinfen felt helpless when a millennium tribulation was mentioned again. He had already confirmed that there would be a millennium tribulation in the northern sand continent. Now, that barefoot enlightened being was willing to help him. He began to believe that he was really one of the tribulation takers. However, Qinfen was transported from Earth. Although he had stayed in the divine continent for more than 2 years, he did not have much affection for this place. He did not want to get involved in the millennium tribulation. He just wanted to find his friends and family and leave this place as soon as possible. However, Qinfen did not know how to repay this kindness. With barefoot enlightened beings' help, Qinfen's heart was relieved. Now, he had 4 empty god venerables on his side, and one of them was even a secluded immortal venerables. However, he had always been a cautious person. Even if everything was ready, he still used his free time to cultivate. If he could step into the 8 changes of Buddha aura, his chances of winning would be higher. However, in the end, Qinfen did not find the opportunity to break through the 8 changes of Buddha aura. The consecutive breakthroughs not long ago had caused him to reach a temporary bottleneck. Fortunately, these days of hard work were not in vain. He had completely stabilized the 7 changes of Buddha aura. Qinfen also tried to understand the heavenly thunder tactics, but he could not comprehend the 4th style. He only managed to stabilize the 3rd style of Thousand Lightning Greeting. He also practiced the Dragon Trembling Spear and Zheni Sword. The purpose of these was to prepare for the upcoming battle. On the 5th day after receiving Taoist Barefoot's flying sword message, Taoist Barefoot appeared in Zixia City. It wasn't his clone, but his real body. The aura of a void god realm master was indescribable. When he appeared, the entire sky of Zixia City changed. He was surrounded by a mist-like aura, as if an immortal had descended from the sky. Zixia City was in an uproar. Everyone was talking about the barefoot immortal's sudden appearance. This secluded immortal venerable rarely appeared in 100 years. Could it be that he also came to Zixia City to congratulate Ouyang Jun? That didn't make sense. Other than Qin Fun and a few others, no one else knew what the appearance of Taoist barefooted signified. However, the cultivators with slightly higher realms had caught some clues. They felt that the northern sand continent was about to change. The arrival of an immortal venerable was a great event that happened only once in 100 years. However, when the barefoot immortal appeared in Xixia City, the originally bustling city became deserted. Even the disciples of the sects who came from afar to celebrate Ouyang arrival had left the place. Junior Ouyang Jun greets Senior Barefoot Immortal. All the disciples of Ouyang Mansion came out to welcome the arrival of Barefoot Immortal. Ouyang Jun even welcomed him personally. Although they were both void God Realm masters, when he stood in front of Barefoot Immortal, he felt an incomparably strong pressure. Where is Qin Fun? Barefoot Immortal seemed to have no one in his eyes. He came because of Qin Fun. At this time, Qin Fun was in closed-door cultivation, leaving this secluded immortal venerable aside. Qin Fun didn't come out until nightfall. He had made Barefoot Immortal wait for more than 10 hours. During this time, everyone in Ouyang Mansion was terrified. They were afraid that this secluded immortal venerable would destroy the entire Xixia city in a fit of anger. When they saw Qin Fun come out, the disciples of Ouyang Mansion wanted to prostrate themselves in front of him. This was young Master Qin, who had made the Spirit Surge pill, and young Master Qiao, who had defeated the #1 genius of Northern Sand Continent in Binji Market not long ago. Fortunately, they didn't know that Barefoot Immortal wanted to marry his daughter to Qin Fun. Otherwise, they would have been shocked to death. Junior Qin Fun greets Senior Barefoot Immortal. Sorry to keep you waiting. Qin Fun wasn't deliberately putting on airs. He had been cultivating and breaking through, but in the end, he still couldn't step into the 8 changes of Buddha's aura. But because of this, the moment Barefoot Immortal saw him, he changed his cold demeanor and cried out involuntarily, Your cultivation has reached the 7 changes of Buddha's aura? Everyone was shocked again. They even began to wonder if this Barefoot Immortal was fake. But only Qin Fun understood why Barefoot Immortal was so surprised. Because the last time they met in Binji Market, Qin Fun's cultivation was only at the 3 changes of Buddha's aura. Only 3 months had passed, and he had directly stepped into the 7 changes of Buddha's aura. In order not to scare the others, Qin Fun brought Barefoot Immortal to a separate room. Ouyang Jun also followed. As soon as they entered the room, Qin Fun went straight to the point. Senior Barefoot Immortal, this time I asked you to come to help me return to Spirit Immortal Kingdom. I discovered that there are many sects and forces outside Xixia City, and they want to kill me. Qin Fun did not explain in detail in the flying message. At this moment, he explained the current situation in detail. Ouyang Jun also knew about this. Previously, Qin Fun was afraid that he would be worried, so he did not mention it. When he learned that there might be 4 virtual God Realm ultimate gods among the forces, Ouyang Jun was shocked. But when he recovered, he expressed his willingness to help Qin Fun without hesitation. On the other hand, Barefoot Immortal looked indifferent, as if virtual God Realm ultimate gods were nothing in his eyes. It's not that there might be 4 virtual gods, but at least 4 virtual gods. Barefoot Immortal said indifferently, When I came here, I felt 4 huge auras outside Xixia City. I was a little puzzled at that time, but now I understand. In that case, those people should have also felt Senior's aura, right? Qin Fun asked. They can't feel my aura. I usually suppress my aura at the Buddha's aura when I come out. Qin Fun and Ouyang Jun rolled their eyes. Rumor had it that Northern Sand Continent's reclusive, immortal venerables loved to hide their strength. It seemed that it was true. This kind of pretentious method was really scary. If any ignorant cultivator bullied the Barefoot Immortal as a Buddha's aura realm cultivator, wouldn't that be the misfortune of 8 lifetimes? Barefoot Immortal continued, but they must know that I'm here. The moment I stepped into Xixia City, the news has already spread. Qin Fun realized that he was too smart. Since the cultivators in Xixia City knew that Barefoot Immortal had appeared, The news must have reached the ears of the soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce. Qin Fan suddenly had a new idea. As long as he made the name of Barefoot immortal, he believed that most of the forces that were preparing to kill him would be scared away. With this idea, he immediately asked the disciples of Ouyang Manor to spread the news. The reason why he came out at night was that he planned to leave Zixia City at night. In less than half an hour, the news that Barefoot Immortal had come to escort Qin Fan spread outside Zixia City. At this time, Qin Fan also packed his luggage and prepared to leave with everyone. President Qin, Sea Medicine Sect, is here to escort you back to Spirit Immortal Kingdom. Young hero Qin, how did you step into the 7 changes of Buddha aura? Your cultivation speed is so fast that it makes people's hair stand on end. By the way, my father brought the great elder of Xinyuan Lin family to see you off. I can also go to your Spirit Immortal Kingdom to have a look. Alchemy Monarch Qin, how have you been? We haven't seen each other for several months. I miss you so much. Young Master Qin. As soon as he walked out of the gate of Ouyang Manor, Qin Fan was stunned by the scene outside. Outside the house stood many cultivators. They were all important figures from different sects and families. In fact, Qin Fan had informed Spirit Immortal Kingdom and asked Li Tao to bring some people to meet him. However, he didn't expect that there would be so many people escorting him. There were not only people from Spirit Immortal Kingdom, but also sects and forces from various regions of North Sand region. Sea Medicine Sect, Xinyuan Lin family, Square Tower, Misty Cloud Sect, Broken Flower City, Fey City's Fey Clan, North Cohen Sect, and a few rogue cultivators from Hall of Fame. Even a number 1 family of North Sand region, Yuin Clan, had sent a few people. Qin Fan realized that there were 30 to 40 forces on his side. They were not any weaker than the forces that had ambushed him outside Zixia City. Moreover, he had 4 people with the combat strength of an empty god on his side. He could totally fight with the other party. If this battle really started, it would definitely be the most intense battle in North Sand region in the past 100 years. This battle would involve 8 Nihility God Realm experts, more than 100 true Spirit Realm cultivators, and thousands of Buddha Aura Realm cultivators. As for Saint King and Immortal Chi Realm cultivators, they were not qualified to participate in this huge battle because their cultivation bases were too low. Qin Fan thought for a moment, and his blood surged. However, he quickly calmed down. He didn't plan to fight against the forces of soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce. It wasn't because he was afraid of them, but because he didn't want to see any casualties on his side. Not only did he not want to fight, Qin Fan didn't even want to quarrel with them. When he spread the news that Taoist Barefoot had come to Violet Cloud City to escort him, he thought of a better plan. However, he would never have thought that this plan would save his, Zhang Keku's, and Xiao Li's lives and lead to an unprecedented battle. Qin Fan greeted the representatives of the various sects, then looked towards the direction outside Violet Cloud City. His eyes shone like stars, and he said with a loud voice, "Thank you for coming to escort me. Once this is over, please stay in Spirit Immortal Kingdom for a few more days. I'll take good care of everyone. If anyone needs alchemy, feel free to look for me." These forces definitely didn't come for alchemy or anything else. They were either subordinates of Qin Fan or good friends of Qin Fan. However, when Qin Fan mentioned that he could help them concoct alchemy, everyone was extremely excited. This was a level 4 tier 7 pill king, and rumor had it that the number 1 alchemist in North Sand region, Senior Long, was in Spirit Immortal Kingdom. The already high-spirited group became even more lively. Under Qin Fan's lead, they started to set off. They didn't look like they were going to fight, but more like a group going on a holiday. You're tuning into the Romance Rendezvous YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.